can't hear you guys. Why can't I hear you guys?
Oh, we were
We're not
doing the
talking.
intro that you fucked up, but don't worry about it.
You gotta watch the stream. You gotta watch Scott's stream when at the very beginning.
Nobody told me that.
That's the only thing you do, man. All right, you wanna hit it one more time?
How long before they gonna get it right? I see behind all of your smiling eyes. I know you're scared of what I became
Whoa! I just listened to the,
what's
the
up?
lyrics. They say
That's
mind
good double
corruption.
bass.
Yeah, no kidding. This is so. We're on episode 33 or 2. 33, I think.
32. Go with that.
Okay, 32. You'd be dead. What's going on, Tyler? Have you listened to that intro before?
You sent it a while back, and like I've listened to it, but I forget. I listen to a lot of music all the time, so
I just
I just
on the
noticed there's
podcast.
double bass on it.
I just meant on the podcast. Have
I
you
do
ever
cut it
listened
off
to,
early
like,
sometimes before the double bass, but I'm sorry about that. Should never do
Yeah,
that
I
again.
just realized there's double bass in it. That was sick. Like it was just like
That is
the
Stone the
trot.
Thrones. Just so everyone knows. Stone the Thrones. Stone
Thanks
the
for letting
Thrones.
us
Is the fair
use
over?
your music, Stones.
Is the fair over? Did they play already?
I'm sure the fair's over, or it hasn't started yet.
I don't even know what is happening right now.
Which fair?
What?
The fair that they played at that one time, that's every year, and they have it in Nebraska and every other state.
State fair?
Yeah.
They Stone the Thrones did not play at the state fair.
In every other state, every state has a state
Nebraska
fair.
State Fair travels.
I
The
thought-
traveling Nebraska State Fair.
Yeah, but they changed the name, so when it gets to Kansas, it's the Kansas State Fair.
Yeah, it's all a
No.
ruse.
No,
It's
it's
just
Nebraska
the
State
state
Fair in
fair.
Kansas.
No, it's just the state fair. That's what they always call it.
Well, it's over. I mean, school's starting. Fair's probably over.
The fair doesn't come until the end of August.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know. I've only been to the state fair like once, I think.
It's literally like the end of August, first week of, so it's 11 days total, I think. And it's the end of August.
It
beginning
was
of
in
September.
Minot here like a few weeks. Nebraska State Fair was in Minot a few weeks ago.
I know.
Yeah, she gets around.
Where's Minot?
Oh, it's where Wiz Khalifa grew up.
Is that why he played there?
Probably. He grew up there.
It wasn't
That's funny.
Lil Jon. Lil Jon was at the Adams County State Fair this year.
Yeah, he
I
was.
thought that
And
was
I
the
heard the show
funniest
was
fucking
terrible.
thing.
Was it Little John or Little Wayne was in
was-
Little Wayne was in Fargo for like a month, I want to say. Like he was just up here for like weeks on weeks. It was crazy.
Yeah, number one vacation spot in the U.S. Duh.
Yeah, everybody wants to go to the myth of North Dakota.
Remember what your catchphrase was, but I know it had to do with suicide. That's why he went North Dakota, baby. That's
North
what it was.
Dakota. We got alcoholics and dead kids. I don't remember. Suicide
Yeah,
state.
alcoholics, dead kids, and suicide. North Dakota. Oh yeah, North Dakota, the suicide state.
Their state
But,
flower is suicide.
You'd think
Why
that
is-
if there was that much suicide, they'd be the state with the least amount of population, but people just keep moving there, I guess.
No, that's what it is. There's nobody who lives here because nobody wants to, and they kill themselves. So the pay is great because they just can't find anyone.
Scott tried to defend it in a group chat too. He really tried, but everyone knows that North Dakota, because we were complaining about how hot it was. So the one time that it was like uncomfortable here, he's like, "Man, North Dakota is just so much better, so much better." I'd hate to be in your state right now.
Dude, it's gone up to like 91. Like that's all it does. It's great up here right now.
We had 102 day down here. It was rough.
I want to say we're
102
going
with like 90% humidity.
this weekend's in the 70s.
It's humid here, but it's not that like it hasn't been that hot. Like I think 86 to 90. Been pretty nice. That's pretty nice, I guess.
Dude, I saw this
We'll
thing.
never-
I mean, transition here to the far future. I saw this thing. I want to show you guys this thing because this is all I think about. Is like I wish like in 100 years from now, when people start building space stations, I'm gonna show you this.
Anthony, don't look at porn. I'll be able to see the reflection off your glasses, just so you know.
I don't have.
Oh, that's what I'm
glasses.
looking at right now. I'm looking at porn. Can't you
That's
tell?
what it looks like. I could just see boobs in
Yeah.
your eyes.
Porn in the
Literally
living
looking.
room. That's the most dangerous kind of porn.
The
Okay.
fuck is that?
So these are like, this is the smallest. They're called O'Neill cylinders, where it's just a cylinder in space, and then like people just walk around on this shit.
A halo?
Yeah, basically like a halo, but like a cylinder. Oops. God damn it.
A halo ring. That's what
Oh.
you're saying.
Maybe. I don't know where it went. There it is.
Yeah.
So there's this. It's like people. I don't know. It's just a fucking artificial environment, and the walls are curved like that. So the gravity's down, but the walls are curved. People live in these little outskirts. There's just parks everywhere. This is like a small town of like 2,000 people. This is the smallest we can build that people could actually live in without being disoriented.
I assume it rotates to give it
Yep.
gravity.
It rotates. The middle like wouldn't have any gravity, so the birds flying up here would be in like moon gravity. It'd be less gravity up here and more Earth gravity on the ground.
How do they get atmosphere?
It's just filled with air. Like it's a cylinder.
Okay.
Do you know that
it's
it's
not
just
it's hollow? Like it or it's completely enclosed.
It's completely
Gotta be
enclosed. It's not like a
completely
halo. But yeah, we can just everyone could just live in this small town, and we could make them whatever the fuck. You could make them like a rural area or a city, and this is a small one. You can make ones that are as big as a continent.
That's crazy.
I just think these small ones are cheaper, and it'd be cool to like. It's like HOAs are gonna be crazy in the future. It's like, you want to live in our town, well, you got to follow these rules, and so everyone can just live in whatever fucking town they want to. Be full of Mormons, like whatever you want.
Dude.
That's
I mean,
specific.
with that $100 million that Brett Favre fucked off, I mean, we probably could have built like a quarter of that thing
$100 million from what?
from whatever Favre fucked off with, and like built all those useless sports complexes to.
Oh,
Oh,
Brett
Brett
Favre.
Favre.
That
I
piece of
didn't-
shit.
Yeah.
Is everyone with money a piece of shit, or like?
Most people who
You
have
don't
a lot of
get-
money, probably.
You don't get a lot of money by being a super great person.
That's true. That's a fact. Like
Like my company.
anybody who gets a ton of money, like if you've got tons of money, like the only thing, like, so let's use an example like Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, I feel like from what I've seen, is actually probably a pretty cool person, like a good person. It's hard to tell through a camera lens, but like for the most part, like he makes a bunch of money and then he uses all that money to make another video to make a bunch more money, and then he spends it all again. And so like I just feel like that's like the one stipulation. It's like if you're using your money for good things and spending all of it to make more money, I don't know, maybe it makes you less, but like people that are like taking welfare funds and building sports complexes and then asking their governor, is there any way that they're going to
What?
find out we did this?
What good things is Mr. Beast doing? Like, I don't know. I literally don't know anything about him.
His persona, I hate it. Like I hate his like, you know, his character, his persona. I hate his face, but I'm sure as a person, he's probably fine. It's just,
Well, like
hate his
like
whole deal.
I only started watching those videos. I don't watch them like as he puts them out. There was one that came out that was like the rise of Mr. Beast and like how he made his money and how he got to doing what he was doing. And I was really impressed. Like I was just like, oh wow, this guy's actually like a force for good, is what it felt like from watching the video. Obviously, it could have been total bullshit. I've never met the guy.
I want to say he's
But-
a force for entertainment.
But what's he doing?
Like he put up a clinic where people would get free like vision surgeries. Like he paid for all the surgeries. If you came in and you needed corrected vision, he paid for everything. Like that's the kind of video he puts out. So then the videos generate views, right? And his videos are the most viewed videos on the internet. Like there's nobody even close to him. He's got more subscribers on YouTube than anybody. He's got like his videos generate a bunch of money, and then he takes that money and spends it on the next video. So his videos
Now,
keep
so-
getting bigger and bigger.
I feel like this like brings up somewhat of a philosophical question. Is if you're getting a lot of money and doing good things with it, but only getting the money because you're videoing yourself doing good things, does that make you a good person? Like giving a homeless person $100 on video? Like is that, or would it be better to not video it at all and still do the good thing?
Well, let's put this into perspective. Let's say you filmed yourself giving, like, I took $1,000 I go to the homeless guy on my corner down here, and I give it to him, and I film it, and I put it on the internet. And that video generates $10,000, right? So then I take 8 of that, and I go give it out to other people without filming it. That would be the kicker. Like, do you do good things when the camera's not rolling? I think that's where you get that determination.
Well, and while filming it might be shittier, but you get 10 times the money or 8 times the money to give away again. So it's like, it's allowing you to keep giving away money. Even if you're filming it or not.
That's what Mr. Beast is supposedly like. That's what his persona is.
But does that make you a good person?
I would say so.
Well, he's doing more good that way. I mean, he's doing more good by filming it.
If he's giving, like, say, if in his next video, say he generated $10,000 by giving 1,000 away. If the next video he gave away 1,000 and made 20,000, but like he's just keeping that money, I mean, it's still good, but he's also just like, he broke the system. I don't know. He figured out how to make more money than what he was giving away and was able to generate income off of it. But from what I understand, his first video, he made $10,000, right? And then he was like, okay, for the next video, I'm going to give away $10,000. And then he went and got a sponsorship by somebody. They paid him, and whatever he made on the video, he gave it away. Like, that was, seriously, I'll send you guys the documentary. It's only like 45 minutes.
He was
super interesting.
He was on Lex Friedman, made me
I like
him a little more.
I didn't know really who he was until I don't even remember what video it was that I saw. I mean, we hate everybody, but that's just part of it.
He's just like ultimate. He's figured out how to get views. So he's like it's like clickbait, but it's not like worthwhile. It's not worthless because it's still entertaining. So
like, let me go. I'm gonna go to YouTube here. I'm just gonna type him in. We're gonna go to his most recent video, see how long it's been up, and see how many views it's got.
The dude has to have a lot of money, right?
He's got tons. I mean, he's got.
Why doesn't he just do the vision clinic without making a video about it?
So his last video.
Why does he have to make more money off of that?
So he can continue giving people money. Like,
yeah, and then his videos get bigger and bigger. So like he keeps his last video was 3 weeks ago, and it already has 124 million views.
So I'm saying that if he could afford to do the vision thing,
yep,
he would have still been fine, more than likely. Apparently, he has a lot of money. So why did he have to make the video about that? Why couldn't he just do the vision thing? He'd still be making a lot of money on other videos, apparently, and still help the people without having to be flamboyant about it.
Because if you're gonna put sponsors in, and like anybody that's in that video becomes a sponsor, and they want to be associated with the channel, that's like your incentive now is he can get money from other companies and put them in their videos, and they get more views. People will look at their company and like he's just a poster child for like anything he does. There's gonna be people watching anything he does. It doesn't matter what it is. He could put up a video of him taking a poop on a sidewalk, and that would probably generate more views than his hospital video.
I think
you're doing it for sponsorship. Does that make you a good person? Is the motive still good then?
I would say so. I would say that's better than like the pranksters.
Better than doing nothing.
Yeah.
Well, see, I just see him as being like all business, and when you have a business, like I can do this for free, or I can make money on this and then continue my business and continue doing better. So it's like, yeah, he can. He totally can afford to do it, but why would he?
I mean, but that's the thing. Like, is it about the business or is it about the helping? Like, what?
I'd say it's both. Because without the business, he can't help.
As long as he doesn't get corrupt.
Yeah.
Start buying shit that Brett Favre does or whatever.
Yeah, if he starts committing tax fraud, then he's probably
who knows if he isn't.
He probably's found a way to there's so many loopholes in that system. He's probably got ways to not pay taxes.
Oh, for
on
sure.
Certain
that's
what
I don't even remember how. I don't remember how much it was, but so Tyreek Hill chose to go to the Miami Dolphins last year over the New York Jets because of the tax codes in Florida, in Miami specifically. And then they just said online, I didn't see how much. I don't remember how much it was, but he saved like millions of dollars in taxes by last year by living in Miami.
I mean,
like
that's why people buy multiple houses in different places too. is because then like they generate more income in said state. Like moving to Wyoming, there's no income tax in Wyoming, so you make more money there than you would versus other states that have income.
But you still have to make your money. I guess if you're remote working, that's what it would be, because you still have
Yep.
to make your money in that state.
Your residence just has to be the state that
Or
you
Is it
have
your
that house.
residence or is it your business? Because,
I think it's wherever your business, like wherever you're employed.
yeah.
I have no idea. I've never tried to get a job from another state while I lived in another state.
I could
Well,
do
then
it.
an NFL player really can't do that because they're tied down to one state.
Yeah, but no, we were talking about those things that we're going to put in space, the cylinder to live on.
Yeah. O'Neill
So did
cylinders.
either of you? I know Scott, you watched a little bit of it, but did you see anything on that UFO hearing?
Yeah, I
like-
watched the whole thing.
You watched the whole thing.
I read stuff about it, and a lot of people are like, they have said that there's no definitive shit in it. A lot of it's all speculation because there was no hard evidence presented.
No, there's
so-
nothing.
Well,
Just
It's not like, yeah, it's not like Scott and I kind of small discussion on this because it's not like the guy who came forward. So this is the way I look at it: is we designed our court systems, right? Like, so anybody can come up and give video evidence to like CNN or MSNBC or whatever, right? And then they can play it, and everybody can just deny that. Like, to be like, well, that's how do you know that's real? How do you confirm that? So the guys who came forward in front of Congress and spoke in front of, you know, all of the court justices, and they took an oath saying that what I'm about to say today is true. If they can prove that anything they said is false, they go to prison because you just lied to the Supreme Court, to Congress. Like,
Yeah,
that's a
but
jailable offense. So why would you lie about some of the things they said?
why do people lie about anything under oath? It happens all the time.
when it's
They're
hard
on
to
TV.
prove, it's
Not
hard
like
to prove
that,
that they're
not to
lying
that.
too.
I mean, so there's what they were saying. Essentially, what came from that hearing was they were trying to, like, the whole thing was like that the government is that the defense budget is being spent on, it's like all the funds are being misappropriated. Like we're saying it's, you know, I was reading a bunch of stuff like the defense budget gets $500 million a year, and half of that goes to contractors, like defense contractors, and then 80% of that they have no idea where it's going. That's like the Pentagon has never once passed an audit. Once in the entirety that it's existed, they've never passed an audit. And so they were coming forward saying national security threat, like, because they're not doing anything about it. Like, we're telling them that there's objects in our sky that we don't know what they are, whether they are alien or whether they are the United States owns them. They're not telling us where they are, and that's a danger to our pilots. That's a danger to our national security. That's what they were saying. And they did not. The hearing was not about them being like aliens are real. What they're basically saying is that there's a ton of stuff that's happening that Congress and the government is not even acknowledging, and it's putting our military at risk. It's putting our national security at risk, and they're spending our taxpayer money on things that we're unaware of, and we should be aware of them. We should know what those things are, and we should know that like these things should be investigated, and they're not. And when they get investigated, there's no transparency on what they're finding. That's
they
like
did
what
say that there was a non-man-made, like, basically UFO found, that they have found non-man-made, like, flying
Yep.
material, and that's the thing, that's the prove it or disprove it, you know.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of clips. I found a bunch of the good ones, and I have them if you would want to hear them. Some of them are, I'm not going to play the really long ones. Like, I got one that's like 5 minutes long, but most of them are like a minute. And I think this is the craziest fucking thing that has ever happened in the history of mankind right now. Like, this is seriously just this hearing that, in fact, that they came forward, all these people sitting on this panel, 90% of them are skeptical. They're basically saying, like, this is bullshit, right? But the guy who is in the center, his name's David Grush. He is the most credible person to be talking about this. He has top secret clearance for, I mean, as high as you can get being in the military, being in the government. Like, he's got the highest security clearance there is. So the other thing is if he talks about things that are top secret in this hearing and it gets out to the public, he broke his code and they're going to throw him in Guantanamo Bay. Like you just broke all of your security clearances, and that is technically treason. So the guy sitting behind him is the inspector general, who is technically his boss, and he was there solely to make sure that he didn't talk about anything he wasn't allowed to talk about. Right? But he's trying to tell people that the things that he's heard and the things that he's witnessed and the things that he's investigated are like the American people should know about this stuff. Because if we're not telling them, we're keeping millions of people, not I would say the entire planet, we're keeping billions. Everybody is in the dark about what we could be and what our future holds. Like we're just sitting in stagnant water, and he's trying to get the boat going again. Like that's, I mean, if you guys want to, I've got them pulled up right here. So let me.
It seems to me that this is like way too specific of a very pinpointed time. That in 50 years they'll look back and say, oh man, remember that hearing on that Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday morning, technically, about what was going on. Thank God that Grush guy did that, because who knows where we'd be right now.
Yeah, I
don't know.
Well,
I don't buy that.
I'm super skeptical of like, because I don't know, like there wasn't really much said, because like he couldn't talk about anything specifically. He kept saying, oh, and like behind closed doors, I'll let you guys know. But I was impressed that Congress was taking it seriously. Like a lot of them were legit. Like, I would really interested in this. Let's get behind closed doors. And like Congress knows now whatever they know, but it still could be bullshit.
Inspector General denied the skiff. So the guy who was sitting behind him after he wanted to go in with those people behind closed doors and tell them more information. He wanted to tell them, because he can't say it on public record, but he can tell you in a private room that's like security cleared. So like it had no cell phones, no electronics. Like
the Congress has the clearance to know this stuff. Like Congress should know this stuff, and they were denied apparently.
So the guy sitting, apparently this has happened after the hearing. He was getting people ready. They were going to go in. They were going to find this secured room, and he was going to give them information. And the inspector general said, nope, you're not giving him that information. Why would it even be denied if it weren't true? I'm just saying, this is, I haven't even rewatched these before we got back on here, so I'm not sure which videos or which questions, but I just think I think everybody should be aware that this happened. And not that it just happened, but everybody should be asking questions.
And also, it's like, I was skeptical when I was talking to you, Tyler, and it's like, oh, this just seems like a show they're putting on, distract us from something else. But you're like, well, if this has been going on for 100 years, we've known about it. It's like, how else is it going to get out into public knowledge? Like, through the court system, through like a painful, slow process of like getting a little information at a time. It's like, this is how it would come out if it is going to ever come out.
This is the most believable, and like this is the only way that you can tell somebody these kinds of things and have it be believed. Because if you do it any other way, oh, it's CGI. Oh, that's a fake video. Oh, that's you're just lying. Like
the government puts out one statement.
Yeah, like it's just this right here. The fact that they did it in front of Congress speaks volumes about what's happening. Like that's the key. So I'm gonna play this.
Intelligent extraterrestrials.
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
That's the whole thing. That's all they ever say.
Okay, and I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologic.
Oh, fuck the government.
Wow.
Mr. Beast here to let you know I'm giving these aliens $1,000.
Wow, that's okay. So try this again. Dude, I sent a bunch of them. I like let's do this one. Let's see if this one plays.
Dude,
so it's a minute long.
I've been donating blood for free this whole time. I just found out you can get paid like $150 a week to donate plasma.
Yeah, that's plasma.
Same thing.
No, you said that there has been harmful activity or aggressive activity
Has any of the activity been aggressive, been hostile in your reports?
I know of multiple colleagues of mine that got physically injured. And the activity, I got
By UAPs or by people within the federal government?
both.
Okay, so there has been activity by alien or non-human technology and or beings that has caused harm to humans.
I can't get into the specifics in an open environment, but at least the activity that I personally witnessed, and I have to be very careful here, 'cause I tell you never to acknowledge tradecraft, right? So what I personally witnessed myself and my wife was very disturbing.
Like that's to me, that's just not acknowledging tradecraft because that will break his, what do you want to call it, his clearances. I just think that that's the most credible thing we've ever heard about UFOs ever. No matter like Bob Lazar coming out and talking about it, the fact that it happened in front of Congress, man. Like we're so close to learning about what UFOs are, whether it's our own government hiding technology from us, or if there are other beings that exist within our galaxy. Because when he says non-human biologics, it could also be like just AI. Like imagine there is another sentient race that lives in galaxies far, far away, and they just like a million years ago, they're just like, all right, we're gonna send a probe out to this planet that we think could possibly be life. And then they send it, and it's just a really smart AI. And it gets here, and then it's like just taking stuff, just like our probes that are on Mars. Like
Yeah.
it could be that. Like the government knows more than what they're telling us, and God damn it, before I die, I hope to God that we get something. Like, because I believe it. I think that maybe I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's sentient beings or if it's us from the future or if it's some AI technology that was created millions of years ago by us on another planet or like whatever. God, I don't know. I just want to know that we have, like, there's something else going on that we haven't quite figured out yet. Because if that's not true, if it's just like, well, we've got everything kind of figured out, then
No way.
I stand by what I said episodes ago that I'm pretty much going to believe the opposite of whatever the government comes out and says. So if the government says, okay, yeah, by the way, we've been lying for 100 years and we actually have all these craft and aliens and stuff, and here's the pictures and here's the craft we found and here's the pieces, I'm 100% going to believe it's fake.
So then what happens if they come out and say that, and then an alien just like, they're like, yep, we're in communication with this race, and we've been talking to them for a while, and then here is the meeting. They're going to come down on the planet, and they're just like, they land and they come out of the ship. Will you believe that then?
That will never happen.
You don't know that.
That will never happen.
Maybe not in our
Every
lifetime.
single, you know how many atheists you'd have to have in the government running things in order to make that happen? Like you would never be able to have any sort of religious leaders inviting aliens to visit planet Earth because they know what that would do to the human race.
I mean, that is the one thing I've always thought about, is that the reason why we don't get full disclosure is because after aliens exist, like religion becomes fucking nothing. Like everybody's belief system that was like, we were created by the one God and we're the only things around. Like you're just throwing everything out the window. But like, you know that if they came down, say the aliens landed, you know the first thing that's going to happen is the Vatican's going to be like, yeah, actually, we just didn't want to tell you guys, they're angels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just think
I don't know.
if people just need to update their, I mean, fundamentalists are gonna have a hard time, but it's like we're all conscious beings. Like we're gonna relate to them in some way. Like we're all just children of God. We're all conscious beings. We're all connected in some way, even if we're fish people or whatever. Like I don't know. Seems to be there's a way to still have spirituality and religion. It's just not gonna be as Christian and white people religion. I don't know.
So
Well,
imagine
man.
that all alien life is just like very, very, like any sentient life is very similar to humans. Like the DNA structures are very, very similar, like almost not identical, but like very close to being identical.
Like panspermia type thing.
Yeah, like imagine that's what sentient life is. So then, like if I've been watching this show, do you and either of you guys have an iPhone?
Yeah.
So on your iPhone, did you ever get Apple TV?
No, I don't pay for Apple TV.
You were flipping
You
off the
should.
guy to your left, not me.
You should.
Flipping off the.
There you go.
You
There
should
you go.
because there's a show on there called The Foundation.
Ooh, yes. That's a
Super good.
classic. I need to read those books.
There's like 9 of them or something like that. I want to read them. The show is super good. Like really, really, really good. Like human existence has been going on for like since we've been taking keeping track of time. It's been like 13,000 years or something like that. And
Just God
these
damn it! I
beings
have
exist in like one galaxy. It's super good. You should seriously watch it. It's so good.
so. Everybody has established that if there's sentient life out there that has made it to Earth, they are significantly, like freakishly more advanced than us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we have, in the years that we've been able to explore space in any shape or form, we have not found any sentient life out there.
Yep.
So whatever is out there has traveled light years to get here.
Yep.
So if that's the case, do you really think there's any peace missions going on at that distance? And with that, like, so essentially, maybe not
Yeah.
as drastic as this, but in a sense, we're ants to them. Like they know they could just wipe us out.
Exactly. There's no reason to wipe us out. Like, there's enough
We're not-
You
space.
don't know that.
There's enough
You don't
materials
know
for
that.
everybody. Like we study ants. Like we're interested in ants and how they work. They're going to be interested in other sentient life.
For sure. Like so, imagine too.
We also kill a lot of ants.
yeah, but not on like
Not
only
if we were
children do it
smart,
on
but you got to
purpose.
imagine they're a lot smarter than
You
us.
people literally pour gasoline on anthills and light them on fire. Like
not
Yeah,
that's
those are like
scientists.
small-brained people. Yeah, it's not scientists.
just put ants through shit.
I said no.
Or, I
Children.
mean,
do
yeah,
it.
it's in the name of science, but they put ants just like they put rats, just like they put fucking other humans through shit. Like, what would we be if not lab rats and ants and experiments to them?
And who's to say we're not? Who's to say they're not already like putting a bunch of humans through shit, like alien abductions and shit like
Yeah, they
that?
could have
Like,
came and like gave us a paradise and let us live in perfect harmony, but they're not. They're just letting us. They're just doing whatever they're doing.
I know this probably happens based off the off the species, but this particular species. But how many people die from ants?
I don't know,
not
probably like a 20 to 100 a year.
No way.
Probably more than you
No
think.
way.
I bet at least
I'm
100.
googling it right now.
I
We're
say
looking
over
it
The
up.
100.
only thing the only thing would be in like the Amazon where they have like fucking
Mhm,
crazy ants. But regardless, I don't think that anything that could travel light years to get here is crash landing on Earth. I don't buy it.
Ants kill about 30 people a year.
Okay, well, that's a number. I mean, that's a number.
I guess between
Double
20
digits.
and 100, so I was in there.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well,
But
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 you
look
know
at
what I
this.
mean? Like if you can make it however many light years, then
Yeah.
floating
Oh,
around on Earth's atmosphere isn't.
So I
bringing you
heard
down.
this argument for that. It was like if we were going to send out space probes to every planet in the universe, it's like you can make some cheap, like they're probably making just cheap disposable probes and just throwing them out there. Like they're probably not their most advanced technology. They're just these like cheap probes that they're disposable kind of thing. They only have like a 200-year lifespan and then they break down and decay, so that way they're not like giving us technology or something. I don't know. I could see them being like disposable technology.
And so what if they didn't have to travel light years? So we have like in theory, we have like we warp drives. Like a warp drive in theory would work. Like bending space-time, right? We don't know how to do that,
Wait,
but in theory, like theoretical physics like says that it could possibly work.
I think it's bullshit, but just because
Why?
my boy Isaac Arthur says it's bullshit. Anyway,
Scott adapts opinions. You just got to get used to it.
no, he's a physicist that
opinions
was
are
in the army.
malleable.
He's a physicist that was in the army. I trust him more than myself. Anyway, he's saying because you need like negative matter and negative energy for those warp drives to work, and he says there's like no real good reason that we should have a negative amount of something. Like it doesn't really make it could be possible. Like negative energy and negative mass probably isn't on the table, and it maybe is, but he said it's
So
Practicality-wise.
it's a theory, but if the theory is proven to be true and we just haven't figured it out yet, they already did, then that bumps them so far ahead of us until it's like that moment when you figure out, oh, that's what dark matter is. That's how we use it.
yeah. Well, I think dark matter.
But then they'd have to send probes like that, though.
Wait,
Not.
I
Like,
think
that's a
so.
completely
The
different
thing
to
that he
do.
was saying is a little more plausible. It makes sense because these like aliens, the Congress meeting, they talk about these things. Was it the Congress meeting or something else? They're saying how they're basically artificially created beings, like their genetics are completely artificial. They're like their genetics are really compressed and their organs are really streamlined. Like they're basically biological robots. So to me, it's like the future is biological robots. And so they're just sending these AI robot. They have enough smarts to do their job, but they're just robots. And
That's exactly right.
And you
I
don't
think
have to
then that would
drive-
totally be it.
I think it's more plausible that maybe you don't have to go light years. Maybe they're not in another galaxy. Maybe they're in another dimension, and they're sending these because they can't just move through dimensions as easy. Maybe they send like these robots through the dimension, and they're the ones that are communicating with us, or these AI robots.
Was the craziest thing that David Grush said was when he was talking about it. And obviously he was like, I don't have a PhD. He's like, and I'm sure there's a bunch of people that do that can argue this way better than I can. He says that he just briefly describes like holographic like physics or something like I can't the name of it, but he
The
said
holographic principle, yeah.
yeah, and he said that they're fourth dimension beings, and since we're third dimension beings, the ships that we're seeing, he's like, you cast a shadow, right, Anthony? You cast a 2D shadow onto a 2D surface. That's going from 3 dimensions to 2 dimensions. He said, imagine that's what they're doing. He said it's a ship that in our space looks like a third dimension thing, but is actually a fourth dimension thing just being cast into a third dimension. Like that was and it's crazy. I seriously think that there's so much more that's going on that we're unaware of. Even if, dude, we could be sitting in the same room as another family in a fourth dimension space, and they're just looking at us like, man, fuck those. They just keep talking about the stupidest shit.
Well, you know what's gonna be great, like, which we'll never know, which is awesome because like part of it, whatever, you have people saying this one way or another. You have governments involved, and once you get governments involved, shit just goes bad. But like the human condition has us just believing we're either apex and amazing, or there just has to be something bigger. Like regardless if it's alien life or afterlife or anything. But like the hilarious thing would be is if atheist and science is 100% right, and we just fucking like got life based off of like single-celled organisms on this random rock in space, and when you die nothing happens and there's no other life out there, and it's just this is it. Like this is just
It'd be I want there to be it'd be sad. I really want there to be more, like Tyler's saying, like extra dimensions, more just something. If you die nothing happens, that's fine, but like just more crazy shit that we don't understand. But if we're the only life in the universe that we can see, that would suck. I would even if we're all just basic animals, like it would suck if we're the only ones. But
I really want to read the Book of Enoch. Have you guys heard of that?
No.
It's I mean, obviously it's probably like science fiction, but it's a book that basically describes that humans, the way we are, was a different being from a different part of the galaxy that it came here, and the animals that were on Earth, it needed a way to keep its its species going, and it bred with Neanderthals or the Aboriginals, whatever it was, and it created what we consider modern day humans. And they were like, according to them, like people that were made, they were angels. Like they were like, because they just had all
Angel
this
comes
power.
down, I want to fuck that monkey.
Yeah, that's exactly right. it was like because the DNA patterns were so close that it was like in order for us to keep going, which is where they get like the ideas of souls and like all that kind of shit. And so I haven't read the book.
Comes
but I've
down
been
in like
hearing
a
lot
beam of
about it.
light, like oh, and
Yeah,
then he
that's it.
looks,
They're
sees
just
an
like,
ape walk by with a big
It's a
ass.
ring
Like,
of fire.
damn.
He's like, oh, did you see that ass in that gorilla? Ooh. He's like, can't wait to come back in another millennia when that thing looks a little bit like me.
Just a fucking montage of like 4 angels just fucking all the monkeys.
Dude, I just think there's
No, it's just
Fuck 'em,
one.
man.
It's
Fuck
one
the
lonely
fucking-
We
guy.
can't be
There's
the
not
only-
4
we
angels.
can't-
It's one lonely guy.
I'll give you a synopsis of it. The book of
He got what he wanted. He got what he fucking wanted.
And
Oh,
we
you could
are,
just get a-
and that's where
you could
all our
just get a
problems
PDF.
came from. Was this guy had a fucking issues?
Oh, it's an
but the thing
ancient
is,
Hebrew apocalyptic religious text. Is what the book of Enoch is. I
how'd
heard
they
about it.
fucking get here somehow.
Yeah, they flew here. They're angels. Duh.
Yeah. Fuck the monkey. Fuck the fucking.
Dude, I have
Fuck
no
the
idea if
monkey,
that's what
fuck
actually
the
the book
fucking
is
monkey.
about. That's like, from what I've seen, that's what I felt like it was. But apparently it's a religious text. And in the religious text, if they're talking about fucking monkeys, then we've come a long way.
Have we though?
In a religious, if it's a religious text, it can't be true.
There's
Everyone
still
knows.
people out
everyone
there
knows
fucking
those are
monkeys.
false.
We're exactly the same as them. Oh, I guess you're right. We have come a long way. We've gotten to their level.
So it's
Yeah,
like
we've
the first
ascended.
part of the book describes the fall of the Watchers, which is the angels who fathered the angel-human hybrids called Nephilim. See, that's Nephilim's a word, dude.
So are we
I've heard that.
Niflings or are we the offspring of Niflings?
Well, we're neither, because we've ascended. We fuck monkeys.
As soon as somebody fucked a monkey, they're sitting there in their spaceship going, I'm so proud.
Oh, that was from the giants. The
Dude.
giants were the Nephilim. So the Nephilims are mysterious beings or people in the Hebrew Bible who are described as being large and strong. The word Nephilim is loosely translated to giants in most translations of the Hebrew Bible, but left untranslated in others. So it's like they just stopped and they're like, man, there's no way that there were giants. And then they just stopped talking about it. I'm telling you.
We fuck 'em
There's
with giants,
so much
man.
more.
That would be-
Imagine you could just have like a globe, like a crystal ball that you could go back in time and just see an event happening right then and there. Imagine all the stuff we would learn.
Well, and I think
Great. I would go back to the start of the universe, and then we could find out. And then if there's just a shaboom, and then all of a sudden, things are expanding, I'm just gonna be like, nice.
I know it's so hard to
Chocolate up for the
believe in.
home
Like
team.
it's so hard to believe that at the beginning there was nothing, and then all of a sudden everything. Like it's just so like why couldn't everything have already existed and then life just formed?
Well, I think it's I think what happens is like there was something before. It was just this fucking ocean, and then all of a sudden there's a bubble in the ocean. It's like, and then so there was something before. I think it was just something crazy different. Probably not. Probably not interesting at all.
Yeah, just like just a bubble that didn't have like it was just a bubble.
tell
Like,
you,
literally
there was-
just a bubble.
Well, I
There
think
was
there's other
no
bubbles
monkey
out there.
fuckers.
What'd you say?
But I'll tell you, there was no monkey fuckers in that time.
Well, yeah, because they didn't have monkeys yet. They didn't know about them. It wasn't until that bubble exploded and then the angels came to Earth and were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck that monkey." And then they
How
were
we
like,
call them angels and monkey fuckers in the same like.
"Is that not what they are?"
No, I know. I just like that the duality of man.
Isn't that Webster's definition of an angel?
Probably.
Homo sapien,
Wait,
angel,
does
and
anybody
monkey
still
fucker.
use Webster? Does anybody use Webster anymore? Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's what Homo sapien means. Monkey fucker.
God damn it.
Monkey fucker.
What is the
Definitely doesn't
Webster
mean-
definition of a monkey fucker? And it just says angel.
God damn.
In the beginning, God made
Like-
angels. He immediately regretted this decision.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I heard a crazy theory about like because God made the sky, and then like on the 6th day he rested, and then on the 7th day he made man or whatever, or the 7th day he rested. Yeah. So
Mhm.
okay, I heard this theory that so there's a big thing in the science community. They all think the pole is going to shift, like the north is going to become south and south is going to become north, right? So I was reading about this that they think that when the pole shift happens, it takes 6 days for everything to calm down, and then like the people at the last major extinction or whatever was the pole shift, and they were like they attributed it to God resting because on day 7, that's when everything went back to like resting and being calm again. The world finally settled down from the pole shift. I think that it's just
Dude,
a
I
crazy
think
thought.
myths are awesome because it's like the Noah's Ark, the flood, and then you get all this biblically tempy shit like the flood that guy talks about. Dude, I don't know. Myths are awesome because there's some truth to them.
I agree too. I think that's what makes life fun. You know,
Fucking that's a fucking sketch, man. Hey, the fucking the Mythbusters going back in time, like busting myths. You know?
God, Jesus, you didn't turn water into wine, you bitch.
This
you just
guy.
bled in that shit.
Myth
Like,
You're just a
busted.
he's just he's just a magician. See, watch. Oh, here, pull up the camera footage right there. You see him swap the glass of water with wine right there. He just
No.
fucking swapped it out.
And
It's just like it's just Jesus standing over. He's like, all right, guys, I'm gonna turn this water into wine. He turns around so nobody's like can really see what he's doing, and he's just pricking his fingers and swirling it in the water. That's why it tasted like shit, because their wine probably tasted like shit back then. And he was just swirling it around, and then he's like, "My blood for you," and everybody just thought.
He actually had some fucking
drink my blood and eat my
deadly
flesh.
disease. He actually had some deadly disease, and that's why people were getting all fucked up on his blood. And
He
you're
was
just like,
just-
fuck, this is.
he was
gross.
just shaving
Fine.
off his warts and people were eating him as crackers.
And that's why
It kept growing back.
That's why he was betrayed, because the guy found out. He was just like, "Dude, fuck Jesus."
They see
Okay.
your feet warts, you fuck.
Yeah. Judas is like, this is fucking gross. God.
Then the Mythbusters, like the second team with the crew are like running oxes into each other, like at full speed, blowing shit up.
My God.
Like that's it. Okay. Next, thanks for tuning in this week. Next week, Achilles, like his heel.
Was Nikola Tesla such a badass? Let's find out.
Yeah, it turns out Nikola Tesla was just a fucking douchebag about everything.
What we're really gonna learn next week is if Moses did part the Red Sea. Here we go. And then they just like they're flashing back through time.
They show a clip and they're all drowning.
dude.
Like fuck,
Yeah.
this one was real.
That guy did not part the sea. Swear to God.
Damn.
No, but if anything, they should go back and view like the Greek mythology. You know, like
Well, I would like to know like some the real shit that actually exists. That there's evidence that hard evidence exists of the stuff that they went over on Ancient Apocalypse, of like the different pyramids, the different sites of buildings that were all connected to in the way they were built, being ahead of their time with the technology it would have taken to build them, aligning with the stars, aligning with the equator, aligning with parallels and launch,
Yeah.
like all that's tied together.
Watching the pyramids get built would for sure be like my first thing, because I think you could do that almost in a lifetime. They built those things fast.
just
Like,
seeing
the
the
big
civilization
one.
they had, just seeing how they lived, just seeing if Egypt, because they talk about how they had water. They talk about the Sphinx having water up to the sides of it. There's like water that has eroded off the side of it. Like, just imagine what that place looked like 5,000 like before,
Well-
and then as they're building it, and like
Being able to tour, I think that would be my thing. If I could go back, it's a tough gamble. Like if you could go back to if you had one chance to go back to one spot in time and not mess with anything,
oof.
or like, okay, say you could mess with things, but like nothing in the future would change. You could just like go view and like sit and interact with people. Nothing would change
That'd be
about the
fun.
future. Do you guys know what you would pick?
It would be tough, because I would honestly like. There's so many things, because the Egyptians seeing the pyramids and stuff like that, seeing their civilization would be a big one. But there's so many small events that I would have loved
Well,
to have witnessed.
The Greek philosophers in that whole time period, where like some of them are just like out, like what's that one guy's name who's just like living in a barrel yelling at everybody, and then there's these like Greek philosophers like figuring out how to think, and that would be fun.
Just and knowing if the dinosaurs, like,
I'd be
what
chilling
Earth
by the
looked
guy
like
in the
when they
barrel
roamed it.
yelling at everybody.
just going back to see Pangea.
I think mine would I'd have to have some sort of translator or something, but mine would be walking through the Library of Alexandria before it went down.
Be crazy too.
Yeah, if you could
That
just
thing had
know, you could just see. This is what I hope the afterlife's like. I wish we could all choose our own afterlife when we die, and part of
Well,
my
most religions tell you can't.
I think you can. Hopefully my DMT trip just lasts long enough and you can do whatever you want, but it's accurate. I don't want it just to be all in my head. I want it to be accurate, and you could just go throughout time. You'd see all your ancestors who've ever lived. You could talk to them all. You're not stuck in any like forever afterlife, but you can just choose what you want. So you could talk to all the ancestors, go back in time, see the Alexandria, and like just know every scroll what it says. Like spend the time to
Yeah.
learn about it.
Because, dude, the amount of history, the amount of knowledge that was lost at the burning of that library was like we don't know anything that
Imagine you
how
went back with
any
your cell
how
phone, just taking pictures.
you know like nothing about the world before then.
Now we just get
You
these
know?
myths of the flood and God and all this stuff. It's like
And they constantly are finding out, or like I don't want to say discovering because I can't prove it, but evidence is continually showing that the human race is older and older and older. Like the date of the first humans are constantly getting pushed back. Like that's insane. And all the Library of Alexandria, what's in there, probably want to give you everything, but you would learn a lot more about the history of mankind up to that point.
Did you
which
see that
is
new documentary
huge.
on Netflix where they found bones that predated like the oldest human bones that have ever been found by like 3,000 years? And the bones, like it had DNA in it, but it did not match human DNA, but it was like human bones.
I'm not surprised. I mean, they also found the small people bones that were
Yeah.
like really tiny people.
I want to know if the Sirius, the bones that Dr. Stephen Greer found in Egypt or in the Sahara or wherever he found those. Yeah, I want to know if that's real. I want to know if that's actually a thing. He's got that. Like, I'll show you a picture of it. I think if it's real, like it can't be. Like, I just don't think that it can be.
you have anything else you want to do in your afterlife while we're talking about it?
It's like if it's real, it can't be. And pulls up a picture of Dr. Greer next to a fucking Optimus Prime. Like that can't be real, right?
Yeah, he's like concerned.
Dude, what would you rather see? Would you rather go back in time and see like would you rather go back in time to see something, or would you rather go far into the future to see what the human race becomes?
Both.
No,
Both.
no. I'd rather go back in time. I don't wanna know what's
would
ahead of us.
probably want to go forward in time. Not gonna lie, because I think I would get. But I'm just trying to cheat the system. Because if I go forward in time, we're gonna know way more about the future. Obviously, you'll know more if you go back in time. But I don't know. I'll trust the far future archaeologists and just see whatever they say.
I don't want to know what's ahead for humans. Like, how disappointed would you be if you go like let's say 100 years into the future and everything's like damn near the same, and they're like, oh yeah, no, you guys like jump technology so much in 100 years, like there really wasn't that much more to go yet. It's gonna take a lot of
Well,
time.
then you
And
jump.
so you guys
You jump further and you jump further, and if it
get one.
deteriorates,
You only get
oh,
one.
you only get one. Well,
That-
then I'd go like
Like-
2,000 years in the future, and I'd either be alone or I'm gonna have a lot of history to catch up on, like something like.
That wouldn't see. I don't want to do that because on the risk of finding out that like the world ended in that time frame, you'd have like kind of a meltdown. Like you'd have a little bit of a
Well,
fucking
I would
breakdown
try to choose
because
like.
then you know.
Yeah, I would want to know though. Like I'd honestly, if I could choose multiple times, I'd want to know when the human race ends. Which I think it won't end. We'll just become lizard people and shit. But there will always be little humans, little baby humans.
That looks fake as fuck.
So yeah, but the guy who said he found this in the desert or something, and he says he's like we had like he's a doctor, he's got a PhD, he could be fucking insane, nobody knows, but he could be. But he found that, and he's just like, this is like they did testing on it.
Oh my
and
god, I want to
Yeah,
become an
right?
artist now, and if I can make these little dudes and just start placing them places,
I think
Right?
that looks so fake, man.
I think it does.
Dude,
Too.
it very well could be. I'm just saying that's what I want to know. I want to go back in time and see if that thing was real.
So you're going back in time instead of forward.
No, I'd probably go forward, to be honest.
I would try to
I'm
choose the
going back.
right distance where, like, if I went, I would honestly go like 500 years into the future and be like, we're either back to where we are now because we had a reset, or we're gonna be hell advanced. And if we kill ourselves, I don't know. I hope we make it at least another 1,000 years.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't pick 500 because I feel like that is like far enough that we could probably have
Oh,
killed
you're right.
ourselves by then. I think I'd probably stick with like 100 to 200, somewhere in there.
To me, though, it's like, how long will it take us for us to build those O'Neill cylinders? And it takes a long time to build these things. There's also another thing I want a tattoo of, but it's essentially a halo, like the Earth's like this, and you put a halo on top of it. Instead of around the equator, you put it like up top, so it's smaller, and it just hangs down from the ground, but it holds itself up in the air. It's fucking insane. But it's the easiest thing we can build. Anyway, I think that's gonna take like 500 years to build, so I'd go at least 500 years, probably 1,000.
Well, imagine that we get to the point to where we can have robots. Like we build technology up enough that the technology can build itself and build things. So then all we have to do is worry about getting the materials.
Yeah, probably 100.
And
Well, the robots can get the materials too, so we're like
I'm
100.
saying,
I'd say 100 years away from that.
then I would say it would probably
Go
take
to-
only
go to
another
the
100 to
past.
start building them.
Go back and fucking see who killed JFK. Go back and
We know who did that. That was Lyndon B, baby.
it was fucking Jackie.
And
damn
kitty history. Have you not done your work?
Yeah, that was Lyndon
oh.
B. I know that because of the Whitest Kids. They told me.
Kitty,
I believe everything they say.
JFK. I gotta grab my laundry. So if you guys wanna chat without me, or
I know.
pause it?
I gotta get ready to get going here. Summer's gonna be home soon.
Where you going?
She had some life stuff happen today that we have to. That I need to be there for her when she gets home. So
How much time you got?
Hope everything's good, bro.
I mean, it's good. She called me over her lunch. And I'm waiting for her to get home, basically, so then I'm gonna cook her some food, and shit happens. Life happens. That's why I hope there's more out there. Because life is
Yeah.
short here. Like we get this like little glimpse of like what life could be if we lived longer, right? Like I mean, watch that show Foundation. Seriously, get Apple TV, if not just to binge that show, because it's super sci-fi. It builds a world as big as like Star Trek. It's galaxy big. Like it is humongously big. And it's the CGI in it's amazing. Like the future, like it's basically there's a guy who and they call him Empire. He is a genetic dynasty. So there was a guy who ruled, and they had like started moving off to other planets and everything like that. He ruled this one planet, and he was like, I don't want to elect another person. I want myself to be reborn. And so they started making genetic copies of him, and he's been going for 400 years doing this. And he has a smaller version of himself, like a middle-aged version, and then an adult version, an old version. And they rule together this like empire that's like a galactic empire. And oh, dude, it's super sick. Like I watched like the first 2 episodes of it like a year or 2 ago, and I wasn't really that interested in it. I was kind of fell asleep. So I started watching it again, and I binged it so fast. I was like, oh my god, this show is actually really good.
I want to say it's super hard sci-fi. Like this is how the future is gonna be.
Yep. If we continue to move forward and progress forward without killing ourselves, this is what I think the future would be.
I can't
Like
wait.
warp drives, ships that because they talk about having ships that were really old that had warp drives, but they don't work as well. So like every time they used one, somebody like essentially died every time they used it. And then as the technology progressed, they were able to create like robots that were able to do the warp drive for the people, and they just put them into cryo sleep. And then they warp drive there, and then the robots wake them up, and then they were like traveling from one end of the galaxy to the other in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
It's like
like-
Prometheus.
Dude, it's super cool. It's I highly recommend it because there's a bunch of good shows on Apple. There's like Blackbird, which is Taron Egerton, the guy from the Kingsman. He's the main role. He plays a guy in like prison, and then they tell him that like he goes to prison for a year. After his first year, they're like, hey, there's another guy in this super maximum prison that we have, but we only have him for like another 11 months. We're pretty sure he murdered like 30 girls, but we can only prove one. And they're like, we need you to go and get confessions from him. you get the confession from him, you get out whenever you get it. But if you don't, you finish out the rest of your sentence in that prison.
Bro,
And
it
good.
sounds good. I'm gonna have to see if I can find them somewhere else because I can't get Apple TV, dude. I've got too many. I've got Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, HBO, Disney.
Apple came with the phone. Apple comes with our phone thing. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. You Scott, you get your laundry. Been good chatting with you guys. Aliens are real. Fucking
Future's better than the past.
future's better than the past. Deuces.
But,
This is totally not ever gonna watch that show.
but yeah, I've started canceling a bunch of subscriptions. What I would do if I were you is like you can pause Hulu, and you can pause these things, so you don't have to like cancel them. You can like pause them for a couple months and just watch HBO. You know, it's like
Yeah, I
HBO
mean,
month. But I guess if it's like $10, it's probably not worth
I
it.
do need to pause Hulu because we really don't ever use that.
I
But we
finally
use Netflix.
canceled it.
We use Disney. We only use HBO when so the
Oh, you're Tyler
Dragon
Freeland. You don't want to be Tyler Freeland.
never be Tyler Freeland. House of the Dragon.
Oh, dude,
I
my
don't even
buddy's calling
remember.
me. The guy from Grant. Maybe we should pause it real
Oh.
quick. Grab
Alright.
the laundry.
I'm in the middle of Nebraska. I'm kind of close to where Scotty went to college.
Okay, well I'm in Nebraska too. Where is you in?
Kind of by Hastings.
Try not to give away
I
his
live in the
location.
middle. I live in the middle of nowhere though. It's hard to give a location when nobody knows where you live. 'cause
Everybody
it's
knows
like
was it Fairfield?
Sure.
Well, I don't think anybody knows Fairfield.
Yeah, I know. We deliver my. I'm in GI, so I'm not that. I mean,
Oh,
not
oh shit.
that
Okay.
terribly far from you.
Dude, you got me.
What do you deliver then?
But
What do you deliver then?
I don't personally. It's the company I work for. They will like, we have a couple customers. I work at an electrical distributor, and they deliver some. There's I don't know if there's like an electrician there or what, but we'll get some stuff
Okay,
from us every
yeah,
once in a
yeah.
while.
You're talking about spray electric or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that Fairfield
Yeah,
pops
I
up
hear
every
ya.
once in a while for orders.
Dude, so I went to
Very cool.
CCC with this guy, and we had a crazy fucking experience at CCC. So I was high the whole time and playing games on my computer, and you were drunk the whole time, going out in the parking lot and shooting, taking, what was it, shotgun and beers.
Shotgun and beers every day.
And the stories
Yeah.
that you experienced during when you'd come in, we'd have story time with Grant, and he'd tell us what happened last night, and it was the best. You are the most insane person. You were, at least. You calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, we had a rough past. The alcohol got the better of us for a couple years.
That's what CCC is for, though, man. That's where I went to school too. That's what it's there for.
I mean, I had to transfer from Milford because of my drinking problem to CCC.
Oh, we had a blast, though.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh god, it was fun. Fucking Keenan.
How is Keenan? What's he doing?
He got married.
Good. Fuck yeah. Little
Yeah,
Mexico.
he married that gal I was giving a bunch of shit to when we were in college. Yeah, no, she married him. So
Fuck
'cause
yeah.
I kept giving him shit. I'm like, she's so much older than you. She's a cougar. I'm gonna hit that. And nah, he ended up marrying her.
I was wearing his
Good for him.
nice boots, and he was a
Oh,
good
yeah.
dude. I wish, like, I was probably mean to him, but he's a good guy.
Oh, I was definitely an asshole. Definitely.
We were
Um,
there was Pedro and then Keenan. They were both Mexican, and
Oh.
our names were, his name was Little Mexico because he was tiny. We
and
were
then we had
really
Big
creative.
Mexico. Big Pedro. Pedro was the G though. He pulled me out one night. I was drunk driving down there on that blacktop just past the campus, and I thought I could do a reverse 180 in my little manual Ranger. Just ditched the fuck out of that. I had a chick in the passenger seat. I'm like, this is bad. I'm stuck as shit. And Pedro came out in that little what do you have, a Colorado? He had that Colorado, and he came out and just ripped my ass right out of there.
Pedro's good. Have you seen Pedro? I haven't talked to him, but I've seen pictures. He's
Yeah,
like
he's
a
in the
ripped
military.
motherfucker now.
He's in the Marines, I believe.
Oh, that makes sense. Jesus. I
Yeah,
didn't know.
he got into the military, and then Who else did? Saunders. Saunders got into the military. Brandon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon's in the army now.
I gotta throw that out there, man. I'm glad you're drinking Stones. I don't see a lot of people drink Stones, and I get a lot of shit for it.
I'm actually drinking Bud Light, but I do enjoy myself the Stones.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
God damn
I
it.
know it's hated on right now, but I think everybody should be able to do what they want to. I believe in a free, we're all free men. We should be able to be free.
Fuck
I don't
yeah.
think
Dude,
we should hate on each other for
okay
our
about
own
that.
beliefs.
I was just disappointed that I thought you were drinking Keystone and you weren't. That's
No, well,
that's
I have Keystone in the fridge. I love the new camouflage cans they came out with.
yeah. Yeah, they did have those. Yeah, I know. That's my fucking beer is Keystone. I love that shit.
I drink Keystone pretty frequently. It is very, very good beer. But
It's cheap.
tonight, my little brother offered me a Bud Light, and I said, "Why not, man?"
That's what my brother, he drinks Bud Light all the time, and I went camping, and he just had Bud Light because it's what he drinks, and we're getting shit for it the whole time. I was like, damn it, he bought it.
Free
I know I get a
the
lot
best
of
beer is a
shit.
free beer.
So I feel
I
like you're
don't
probably
care.
doing a project right now. You building? What are you building? You talked about racing. What are you racing?
Oh, so we during the summer we do trailer races and demo derbies. So
Is that like pickup in a cow trailer type thing?
yeah, you put whatever you want behind it, but yeah, you race around a track with a trailer and try to knock other people's trailers off, and good time. So
Fucking
I have these high school kids they actually have a work ethic. So I want to put them to all to the test. So I have these high school kids come out and I make these fuckers work their asses off. And then I'm like, when somebody's not doing something, I make them do chores for me. It works pretty well because like it like a whole group of high school kids all piled around this car working on it, and then like I'm telling them what to do, and then there's a couple of them just standing there like on their phones. I'm like, hey, why don't you go mow my yard or, and then I make them go do this because and then I make them all replace like the guys that are making money. I make them replace all the tools and stuff because like I don't think we've had a truck that hasn't placed this year. So I tell them how to build the shit. They build it how I tell them to, and we win races.
Damn.
So
That's good. That's exploiting cheap labor right there.
I know it's kind of fun. I mean, last year we did the same thing with derby cars, and every single car we had, none of them got below second place. So we just run it, and you can $700 a race if you win. So I mean, I think the most I made last year on one race when I raced was $1,000 for first place. So
Jesus.
you got a
I
whole
mean, it's
crew.
kind of fun. It's a little work, but I mean, when you get a bunch of little kids around there that just want to work, and you just put them to the task, you can make them, work, and teaches the younger generation how to do that shit.
Fuck
I
yeah.
feel
Dude,
like I'm just yeah.
I enjoy good
What are you
racing,
saying,
man.
buddy?
I enjoy some good racing. I haven't been to a race in a long time, but I kept telling myself all winter I was gonna make it up to McCool this year. Just watch some racing there. And I have not yet. I've not made it there yet, but I've never been there. I want to go.
Well, what are you doing on oh shit, what is it? September 9th, I think. September 13th. 13th of
Good year.
September. It's a Sunday.
Did
The
they
week
race at
before my
McCool?
wedding. No, it's in DeWeese, Nebraska. It's just 5 miles south of Fairfield.
Louise just had their fucking like dance and shit, right? Like they
Yeah,
had their.
yeah. We got the big DeWeese Days is coming up.
Yeah, okay, that's what it is.
If you want to come watch a derby, man, we run big cars and we run little cars.
And I see. I need to do that, dude. I haven't seen a derby in, dude, like stupid long. Cause I think since I left Binkelman, because we never. I mean, that was the last place I saw a derby. Nobody. I don't know anybody around here to go to like their town festivals or whatever, and so I haven't seen any derbies or
Remember when
enduros or.
we go up on the Ferris wheel and watch
Oh,
the Derby for free, and then we got stuck that one year. Remember we got stuck on the Ferris wheel for like an hour?
don't remember that, but
I want to
mean,
say
I'm
it was
sure
you
it
or me,
happened.
but
I mean, there's a good chance. I mean, but I am always down to. I need to do that. So September 13th. The issue is going to be that is the weekend of my anniversary. So I have to see if my wife is if we're doing something that weekend or the next weekend. So hey, maybe I'll
Well,
be romantic and take her to a derby.
yeah, see, that's my thing. Is the next weekend's my wedding, so.
oh fuck.
And
Yeah.
my old lady, she's demoing another car with us, so.
Jesus. Nice. Very
We build
nice.
her a car, and then I build myself a car, and we get us both out there, and we tag team the shit out of motherfuckers.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I wonder how many people do that. That form alliances and
Oh, well, the nice thing is, like we got some
politics.
friends in it. Yeah, it is a very political like
Never
race
would have
because like
imagined.
we have our friends, and then we have like the people I build cars for. So like there's like 6 or 7 people here that I've built their cars, and then there's like our cars that I built way better, and then there's everybody else, and like a couple of them guys are our friends, so we all make alliances depending on what heats we're in. And
Damn. But at some point you'll have to hit somebody you don't want to hit though.
yeah, we always say once you realize you're in the money, it's free game. Once you made money, good to go. Once you hit that fourth place marker, it's all dog tearing,
My
dog fighting.
my uncle derbied a lot, and I think he won the state fair a couple times. But so
Yeah,
that's like a cool hobby.
I wouldn't say
Always
it's
wanted
cool.
to
It
go.
hurts.
I've always wanted to go see a combine derby. I've never seen one of those.
Yeah.
I've been to one in my life, and they are super cool just for like the like what's going on, but they really don't hit that hard. Like the biggest thing is like the guys that actually have heads. Like some guys run without a head on their bind, and good for them because it's safer. But the guys that run heads, that shit goes flying up, and it could definitely go through the cab and whatnot. I don't know.
I just think it'd be
That's some
cool to see
crazy
an
stuff.
armored combine. Like, I mean, the shit that could be made. I
Yeah,
don't know if you can put armor on them, but
Oh, you
Granby,
can put armor on
Colorado
anything.
Combine.
Yep. Yep.
Did anybody get
You
that
can put that
reference?
shit on anything.
or what do they call that? Like the lawless derbies or the outlaw
Outlaws.
derbies? Yeah, it's like I want to. I just imagine these steel plated trucks going at each other.
They
Yeah,
100% can
no.
do
What?
So Grant,
that.
we were talking about
Oh,
the
yeah.
future and the past. If you could, when you die, if you could go check out the future anytime you want, you get one shot at going however far you want in the future, or you get one shot and go in the past and check out what actually happened in the past.
I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna be that motherfucker that shoots Bin Laden. Bin Laden's dead. I
Just so
wish
you
I
could-
could have shot that
He's already
motherfucker.
dead. Oh, I guess supposedly he's already dead.
I
So
wish I could have shot that motherfucker.
I don't want to change history. I already know what happens. I just want to be the guy who does
Well,
it.
it's already happened, so I just want to be the guy that fucking fuck it.
Walking
That'd
into
be
his family and
bullshit.
get out of the way.
Oh yeah, fucking hold his wife and baby in one arm, carrying him out after I just capped that motherfucker and put a canoe through his forehead. That'd be dope as shit.
You are a goddamn American. I like it.
Yep.
Derbies and
I think
shooting
that'd
Bill
be
Nodden.
sick. Well, I literally have like 5 guns set here on my desk around me, so.
Yeah, you build guns. I also like that. Where you're still at that your parents' farmhouse. It's essentially yours now, right? Like, you
Yep,
you
we
have a
started,
farm and a construction business. Like I'm so jealous of you.
No, I wouldn't be. No, it fucking sucks, man, because I'm still working full time at the shop because the shop's supposed to get sold in like a month and a
Why don't
half,
you go full time construction?
because I'm still having to work at the shop until it gets sold.
You're a
Because
slave.
I pretty much I'm the master mechanic. I'm the head mechanic. I price everything. I'm practically running 3 jobs at once while I'm there. And then when I get off, I'm running that job. And then I also got my mowing business I started.
They
So,
better pay you well at the mechanic job. You're running it like 3
oh yeah,
jobs.
no, I'm getting paid pretty decent. It's not bad, but
Okay.
it's a lot of work.
Anthony's got
Also,
me damn
the
near.
tools.
pretty sure I'm gonna move to Grand Island, dude. I'm really thinking about it
Whatever.
hard.
This
Like,
guy has said he's gonna move to Texas, Australia, Omaha, Grand Island,
oh yeah, I forgot about
Valentine.
Australia.
Dude.
I think I might go Australia first. I'm not sure, but it's either Australia or Grand Island. I don't know. Grand Island has moved up on the
Would you
list.
be a deer and grab me 2 of the bush lights?
I'll believe it
You're
when I
such
see
a
it.
I only have
such an awesome
6
lady.
more months, or I only have like 9 more months until I can not go to Australia anymore. So yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm down. And the guy who trained me at my job, I'm still putting in bathrooms, showers. The guy who trained me went off on his own because the company's just getting really gay. And he took a salesman with him. Him and the salesman went off on their own, and they're really successful. So I'm just like, fuck this. I'm gonna be a contractor, going off on my own here soon. And when I'm gonna start from scratch, I might as well start from scratch in Nebraska.
In all
And there's
honesty,
definitely opportunity.
So, and my
Dude, if
boy
you-
can throw
if
me
you-
some jobs.
I don't know who your
That's
boy
totally
is,
fair.
but
My boy with the construction company.
but man, yeah, no, in all honesty, if you start around here, there are jobs. Like I think the company I used to work for, we were backed up for a year when I quit working for them, and I think they're backed up 2.5 years now.
That's so dumb.
So like, and I think most of the construction companies and contractors around here are backed up for like 2 to 3 years, almost all of them. Even the newer ones, like I got a buddy I went to Milford with, started his own construction company out of Edgar, and he's backed up for over a year and a half already.
Well, so that's the thing. You could get backed up with like I'll probably do the side jobs and just do that because I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
working for a
that's
framer,
kinda-
like a house builder, like slash framer. I wouldn't mind getting some more experience with that.
yeah,
So if I
that's
could,
what I would like. If you do that, dude, just find somebody that wants help on like Saturday afternoons or Saturday mornings because I want to do some of that shit too. But obviously, I have my job. I'm never leaving. But I want to know how
guys
to
like-
do more of that shit just so I know.
You guys, any of you guys like concrete?
I love concrete.
Fuck no. Concrete can fuck off,
I
dude.
love
I don't
concrete.
want to ever
Concrete's
do
my
concrete again,
favorite,
dude. I
dude.
did that enough.
If you only do it like a few times, like
Oh.
if you only do it a few times, it's great. But if you do it all the time,
I love concrete. I love the work of concrete. I hate ordering the truck and trying to figure out when the truck's going to show up on time and if it's the right conditions to pour. Like
Yep,
that's
you
the
have to-
hardest part about concrete when you're running something.
that would be nerve wracking as
so much.
fuck.
There's so much stuff.
Have you
Mhm.
ever stamped or colored it?
Yep.
God
Yep.
damn. See, that's the
I've-
experience I need. Make a lot of money
Yeah,
doing that.
actually, my fiance's stepdad, I guess it's not really her stepdad, but we call him stepdad. He built we got 4 dogs now, and they don't like dogs in their house, so they built us a whole ass guest house so we can keep our dogs there
Jesus.
and everything. And I helped him with the concrete, and we did this big stamped patio. The whole patio stamped with multicolored concrete. So on the outside, it's a light tan stamped concrete, and on the inside, it's a darker gray stamped concrete, and it makes a bunch of bends and makes like an oval, like a cul-de-sac kinda for the fire pit. And then we
Damn.
did stamped concrete in the garage that looks like wood planking.
Yep.
But
That's God, dude. But I mean, so that's funny because I like concrete is only fun in the sense that it's fast paced. Like you just gotta fight. You're going. You can't stop.
your brain
But-
shuts off. You're just there.
Yeah, it's just straight moving. Like that's all you're doing
My
is moving.
meditation.
But fuck,
It
man.
is.
But the next day, you feel pretty rough. And that's why I don't believe you, Scott. It's less fun if you only do it once in a while because you're out of the conditioning to be doing it. And so the next day is way worse if you don't do it regularly.
Well, I need to be better at finishing. Like the hard work, the fun, like the screeding and the puddling and shit, that's fine and easy. You don't have to think much, but I don't trust myself with the finishing. So
Getting them corners perfect and everything.
yeah, everything about it just
Edging.
makes me nervous, but I just need to do it more. So I need to work. I basically just need to do construction on the side and work for a framer and a concrete dude, and just get a couple years experience.
Concrete's pretty easy, man. I mean,
I think so.
in all honesty, I mean, if you have to pour a really deep pad, Just go to the junkyard. Don't even buy rebar. Just go to the junkyard, get some extra engine blocks, and chuck that shit in there. I ain't even kidding you, man. That shit's hard as shit. That shit ain't going
You
nowhere.
don't need a subgrade. Just throw some engine blocks down there.
Mm-hmm. I've done that a couple times.
Building stairs.
also thrown a
That'd be
couple
funny. You're building
brake
stairs, put an
rotors.
engine in there.
But
I mean, dirt seems
yeah,
a
man.
little easier to shovel in there, but
Well,
so
taking an engine block and just kicking out of the back of your pickup works pretty nice. I don't know. I
Just-
like to work.
just
fairly
having the
simply.
place you got the farm where you can fuck around and build shit. That's the dream. You have a welder and a
Well, yeah,
shop.
that I got 2 shops and a garage, and hopefully now we might acquire. I'm hoping once the shop gets sold, I might acquire another shop in town, and that'll be where the construction business is located, because that's where all my lumber that I mill is. So like I got some like rough cut milled black walnut that I picked up off a guy.
You built a
Like all
mill?
these guys around here. Huh? No, the historical society once a year puts on this deal, and if I help with it, I can bring all my wood and we'll mill it out to whatever I want. So I have this deal with the historical society where I mow the grass, and then they bring this big ass saw, and then when people cut trees down in town, if it's a wood I want, we'll cut it up to what I want it to be cut.
Where's this historical society? In Fairfield?
No, it's the Clay County. It's the whole county's society, but yeah, it's pretty nice.
Nebraska's
I got a
badass.
deal with them. Yeah, where I do a lot
Hey.
of work for them, and they do some work for me, so it works out.
That's the move then, Scott. You just move to Grand Island, and you'll be closer to Grant. You'll be closer to me, and you can learn to do all this stuff, and have me just like hang on your coattail sometimes, and then we'll just do
We'll
stuff.
learn. Well,
I teach a whole crew of high schoolers. I think it's going to be so much easier teaching grown men how to do things that, that'd be
yeah, we
so
can
much
help you.
nicer.
We can help you do some concrete on the weekends.
Oh,
I
fuck,
don't know
that'd
if
be
I'd
so
call
nice.
myself a grown man.
Well, I mean, you're not going to be sitting there doing this. This is what these kids
That'd be-
do, man. I'm just not even kidding. They're just all on their phones. I'm like, you motherfuckers need to knock that
Sweep
off.
the
I think
shop, bitch.
my screen
Yeah.
time per week is like 4 hours. I think my phone's on for 4 hours a week.
You have like 3
That's all
jobs
I'm on.
though.
I know. I don't like. I think I had 3,000 unread text messages and emails last week. I'm like, this is bad.
Need an
Like, I
assistant.
only answer if it's somebody that I'm like really like, oh, I really want to talk to that person, or I haven't talked to them in a while, or that's someone I need to talk to. The only reason I pick it up.
Would you
But,
ever,
yeah,
this is random as fuck, would you ever, if they could enhance your dog with AI and make it smart, would you ever do that? And like the dog has its own personality. It's like, or
Fuck
would you
no.
rather it just be a
They-
dumb dog?
They already have their own personality, and I think if you made them too smart, my dogs would work their ass.
They'd what?
They'd understand. They fucking murk me. They just fucking.
That's fair.
I agree.
They'd want their own life.
I got this one dog.
Dude,
Yeah,
Jordan
I trained
asked
this
me
one to
that.
be an detective. So
Jordan
Yeah, she's
Jordan
fucking
asked me that.
normal.
She was like, "What would you do if Hermes like ever talked? Like you were just sitting here and Hermes said a word." I said that would be the fastest I've ever killed anything in my entire
Call
life.
your boy Scott to come finish the job.
But what the fuck, man?
No,
That's
I
like
was- I told-
Brian from Family Guy.
Dude, that's a cartoon. But seeing my dog Hermes like say, "Hey, what's up?"
Satan
instantly
is real.
cracked neck, just fucking dead. There's
You're
not.
done.
You start speaking
Dude,
Latin.
no. Dude, that's a yeah, no shit. That's
No, it'd be like Mr. Pickles.
That's a good fucking show. God damn it.
That is, I love Mr.
I
Pickles,
honestly wanted to
man.
watch that again. I got real high and watched that, and I was like, this show is fucking on something.
I've watched that shit 3 times. I love it.
I'm ready for another Mr. Have you ever watched that, Anthony?
only like bits. I haven't been religious about it.
You should
Yeah.
binge it. It's interesting.
Mr.
Interesting.
Pickle.
When I was in Arizona visiting Ethan, we got high and binged Mr. Pickles, and I was like, God damn, this is great.
Oh God.
One other random
Oh
question.
yeah.
What are you thinking before? Because I got this one written down.
Just gonna say that mine's not that important, but I was just gonna say that preseason football starts this month, baby.
Well, I've been wanting to do a fucked up football another live stream. I've been pretty healthy lately, so I've been wanting to do another fucked up football game.
Well, that's God. It just takes some work to get that going if we're gonna live stream it, you know.
Well, we only did it to Twitch last time. We kind of failed. So
We
I don't
can we can do it again and we can get Grant in on it. I know he'd be down. He's not
Oh,
working.
always, man.
I don't know. We never played fucked up football, I don't think.
I've never played fucked up football. How's that go?
We watch a football game.
Gonna-
It started out we simulated 2 games against each other on the PS3 and we just watched them play. But now we just watch a football game. And basically every play is a drink. A turnover is finish your beer. Like a loss of yards is a drink, a sack is a drink. Penalties a drink.
Oh, so we're looking to get fucked up.
Yeah, and the thing is almost everything's a drink. The score is like a touchdown is 6 drinks. But then the killer is you can only pee at quarters. So if you fail, if you miss a drink or you pee when you're not supposed to, you're out of the game. You can still play, but you're not going to make the Hall of Fame. But peeing at
You ever
quarters
play-
is the killer.
I understand
Yeah.
you guys like your football, but you guys ever play Beerio karts?
Hey, is that drunk driving?
Yeah, on Mario Karts.
Yeah.
Like you can't drink and drive. You have to be stopped to drink. But if you
Oh,
mess
yeah.
up, you have to drink until you're back on the track.
Damn, no. Okay, so ours is we don't have the if you mess up rule. Ours is just you can't drink while you drive, and you have to have your beer gone before the end of the race.
Yep, your beer has to be gone before the end of the race. You cannot drink while you're driving. You have to be stopped or wrecked to drink. So like there's times where I've been in first and I just stopped, started slamming, and then passed the finish line.
Yep, that's the so we have a rule. I think that you have to go at the beginning. You don't just
Oh, really?
like chug at the beginning. I think,
But
but
you
then
want that boost. But
yeah, and then you can chug like you can stop and just chug it all and then go. That's the best way. Is like go get your boost at the beginning, hit it, and then stop, chug the whole beer, and you're in 12th place, and then just fucking get all the good items and fucking go. That's
I'm surprised
I've
there's
had a
not
couple buddies that played that one.
a Smash Brothers drinking game. Like, I guess it's hard to play that one. Well, because then when you're stopped, the
bet
other
we
guy will
could-
kill you. I don't know how that'll work.
I bet we could make a pretty badass Donkey Kong drinking game.
What game? What's Donkey Kong? I've never even heard of this. Oh,
You know where like you're the Mario brother and you gotta like jump up and like go through the different
Oh,
levels.
the old
while
school
Donkey Kong's throwing,
and the
he's throwing
barrels.
the barrels at you.
that's your
Like
retro
every now
game
and
you
then.
like?
Yeah, and then every now and then you get like the little mushroom dudes walking across the level
I gotta
or
play that one
something.
more. I
and you
haven't
gotta,
played
like,
that one very much. Dig Dug is
I
the shit.
Dig
Dude, I
Dog. I
almost
fucking
fucking-
love Dig Dog.
I almost took my GameCube upstairs, hooked it up to my TV upstairs, but there's no fucking like red and yellow AV cable. It's only HDMI, so I fucking couldn't do it. I've been craving some fucking Super Smash
You got an
Bros. on
adapter?
Melee. There is an
You have
adapter.
an
I just don't
GI?
have one. Yeah,
That-
I think I got like 6 of them motherfuckers.
dude, that's the move. Because Scott, you should
so
call me real quick.
Call you?
Yeah, I'm
there's
gonna.
an
It might get.
adapter, or you could just find like a free TV, one of those old, thicker TVs.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I got one of those
Dude,
for
I
my
have-
VHSs.
I have
You'll
4
probably
TVs
find
in
one on
my
the
house,
side
so-
of the road, in all honesty.
Yeah, for real. I It might be loud. I don't know how this is. Can't even hear it. Damn, I'm like, it's gonna be loud and you can't even hear it.
I could hear it for a second.
Try. Okay, try one more time. I'm gonna have you hang up, but I'm gonna fuck around with the settings.
Just put
See
it
if I
close to
can
your
turn
mic.
my.
You should be able to hear it.
I did. And seemed like you couldn't. Oh, there we go.
Madden theme song.
NCAA 06.
Yeah.
You can't hear it. That's so fucking weird. It's like
There it is.
it's the Melee theme song, and my text tone, because I was like laying in bed and I was getting all philosophical, and I was like, man, remember the days of like having clips of music as your ringtone was like cool. And then you just got older and you're like, man, that shit's annoying, and you just like stuck with whatever your phone had. And then I was like, there's got to be something out there. I'm not gonna just be like, this is dumb after 3 phone calls. I'm tired of this. And so I got on the store and started looking, and I was like, oh fuck, dude! It didn't even start with the ringtone. It started with the text tone. I was like, what do I want to hear when that's a text? I'm not gonna just get tired of, but it's something I want. And it's the sound it makes when you have the home run bat and you smack somebody in Super Smash Bros. And it does that like ping, and it fucking sends them off the map. So that's my fucking
Like
text
how you're
tone.
getting
is the home run.
philosophical, dude. Because if you have a song, you're gonna hate that. Oh, like your alarm clock in the morning. You can't have a song.
Yep.
Back in Black
so
is
I did-
ruined from me forever now.
Dude, mine's Highway to Hell. Highway to Hell.
They're both AC/DC.
Yeah, it's but the Super Smash Bros. Melee.
I had the
I could do
Stargate.
one too.
The Stargate theme song worked because it's like an orchestra playing, and then my text message was the kawoosh. There's when the Stargate opens up, it goes, and so I had
So,
dude.
I thought-
That's the move.
Thought about one for voicemails or Snapchats too, and it's Super Smash Bros. From just from the N64, the first one. And it's the intro, like after you watch the whole beginning video, at the end it has a logo that pops out, and then the guys is like Super Smash Brothers. I was like, damn, that would be a good one, but I know I would get fucking tired of that one. I know, because he like yells it. They'd be like, fuck man, I don't care if I have a Snapchat now. Like,
Well, now
fuck
my
it.
third one for the Stargate theme is you could have Jack O'Neill saying, "In the middle of my backswing," he's swinging a club. But
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. I need to go back to that. You're right. I need to change my shit.
Dude, it's just anything to hold on to the childhood.
So, man, where do you work in Grand Island?
You know
Like,
where the
what's
old
your-
Chris Davis building is?
Chris Davis. No, I'm not the biggest. I don't have the most familiarity with Grand Island. It wasn't the right
Okay.
word, but
Figure out how I can say this. So, well, the overpass. I mean, there's an overpass that will take you downtown. If you
Yep.
otherwise
Yep.
it's on
know
it's
which
on
one.
the
I
west
know-
side.
you're kind of talking that one that if you have to go to oh shoot, there's that Hispanic grocery store that sells banana leaves. Fresh or Whole Foods or something, Fresh Foods or something over there.
No, I'm trying to think of something around it. Like, damn, it's really hard.
Better
'cause
with
there's not-
landmarks. So where is it from the Nebraska's biggest liquor store?
Okay, it's so that's basically on 281.
Yep.
Going through. So before you get to that, it is south.
Okay.
So you know when you're coming into Grand Island on
That
281
overpass
from
is the one you're talking about, that one right there.
the one
Like,
that runs
just-
east and
Just
west.
south. And then it'll head like down and like they got that like CBD shop down that's kind of around there, and then straight down there's like
And
a
like
Casey's
Lee's Family
right along-
Restaurant.
Yep.
Yeah,
I know where you're
yeah,
talking now.
So then you keep going down that way. You keep going east that way, and there's another overpass. And The old Chris Davis building is right basically under that overpass. If you're on the overpass and you look out, there's this old brick building, and it says, like, in paint still from like the 40s, it says Chris Davis on the side of it. And
Okay.
that's where I work. But
Is
Oh.
that overpass that kid won New Year's, like, ramped his
Yes.
car off of? And
yes,
that
I didn't
one?
work there at the
Okay.
time. I didn't work there at
But
the time,
yeah,
but my
he
uncle
flipped
told me,
over
like,
into that shit.
dude, okay, so he literally drove off the ramp into that building, and
Yeah.
I didn't work there, but my uncle did, and he told me that so he gets there really early. He's our big truck, like our long route
Mhm.
driver, and so he's there super early. And he got there, and they were like the cops and everybody were still like cleaning stuff up, but they said that he like walked up there and there was still like blood and pieces of car and shit like around. Yeah, he said it was like he
Oh, yeah.
literally just hit the side of the building.
Yeah, no, I was 5 minutes in front of that dude. I was driving. My ex-girlfriend used to live right down the street from there, and that's why I knew which one you were talking about. Because I'm like, dude, that dude ramped that freaking he ramped that bitch, like
Yeah,
flung that
he was
thing
going like
right off
100.
of it. Yeah, he like right
Good for
off,
him.
went through the guardrail and everything. It was so cool.
They
I mean,
If you
they
could have
sorry
seen
for
it,
the
it would
first
have been cool.
responders.
and now
I
they
mean, yeah,
completely
I've
redid
been
it.
there, seen that. It ain't that cool, but it's kind of cool.
They
I mean,
they completely redid that median and on the overpass now and like down it a little bit. So there's
Yeah.
like a big middle barrier, so you can't fucking do that anymore. If somebody were to be going
Yeah.
100 miles an hour down there, they'll hit that fucking barrier.
Were you saying
stop 'em.
your work is in like essentially like a historic building, like an old building? That's
It's
cool.
pretty cool. I mean, it has its aspects. Yeah, I mean, it's an old brick building with a warehouse. That's also a warehouse. But did you hear that?
Oh yeah, I've been texting you.
You know what's really cool about the building he works in? It's just down the road a little ways. There's this huge hill. And this hill, when the Seven Sisters tornadoes hit, they took what was left of Grand Island and piled it up into this hill. And that's what it is. And now it's like a park that everybody sleds down in the winter and everything. And that's just right down from his work.
It's literally called Tornado Hill.
Yeah.
But my parents, I was actually raised by my grandparents, so
Mhm.
like they old, but I call them mom and dad because they raised me. My dad worked on the ambulance, the GI ambulance at that time, and what was there, like 8 people I think that died in those in the 1980 tornadoes, but they said that it was Tornado Hill used to be significantly bigger. They said it's gone down, like it's just broke down a lot. It's gone down a lot, but yeah, it's still fucking huge. I ran up that thing a couple times.
It just reminds
As
me
the
of
way the
those like
sediment packs and everything.
over by Hastings is such a cool place because all those bomb factories, and they'd build
Yeah.
these like big old hills of big berms of
Grass.
dirt just so in case the bombs exploded they wouldn't destroy the buildings.
Well, no, that wasn't even the reason. It was so when you were flying over it, like if you were a plane flying over it, just looked like rolling hills.
Well,
and that's what Nebraska was known for, was the
yeah,
rolling
those
hills.
are the bunkers
So
that are covered in grass, but I'm talking about by the bomb
Yeah.
building they made like
that big like concrete wall you're talking.
the concrete wall and also just a big pile of dirt. Like they made this huge like I'm pretty sure that was like to
Yeah.
protect something from
Well,
explosions.
no, that was because the explosion had happened before they built that. That was because they were moving a bomb through the warehouse that was there, and somebody had dropped it, and it went off, and it set everything else off, and it
Oh
blew
my
the
God.
whole thing. Like it broke windows in Kansas when that thing exploded. It was so big, it left a crater. That's why everything right there where that thing is you're talking about is all dug out.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just moved everything into a berm. So if it ever blows out again, everything goes outward instead of towards the road. Because it killed a
Fucking badass.
lot of
Dude, that's
people.
those whole like ammo manufacturing and bomb manufacturing buildings are like their own little town. Like they have a water tower and they had those
It is,
railroad
yeah.
tracks going
Well,
through.
And
yeah.
now people just
It's
rent
right
them.
outside
People just buy
Glenville.
them and use them as storage units and shit.
Yeah, people buy them, use them for all sorts of stuff. Some people store things. Some people turn them into businesses. Some people live in them.
Grow weed
Like,
in them.
Oh, dude, yeah, yeah. Actually,
yeah,
kid that I
there's
was
one
buddies with
dude
in
doing
college,
that.
our second year, he got an apartment in one of those things with a roommate, and we'd go over
Yeah.
there and like smoke and stuff, and it was pretty fucking cool.
Dude, how was it? Like the temperature wise in there? I mean,
That I don't remember, but I can tell you where I work. The temperature it sucks. They have AC going to the offices, but they don't have AC up.
yeah, but you don't
at
have
the-
like dirt and grass above you. I'm just assuming that like it's fairly cool in there as opposed to like a warehouse like that would be hot. You would think it'd be cooler,
I,
but maybe
I
not.
bet it's so
No, those them things suck. I did work for I worked for the planting side of it, like the crops one year, but we had to go out there every once in a while and do stuff like take inventory and whatnot. And those things do get pretty hot.
They're
And
not
they
really
are
buried
dark.
as
Once
much.
you shut the doors, dude, it's freaking blackout in there.
They need some AC.
It gets warm. They're not that great. But
Dude, so I
I've
got
heard of people that have broke into them things and they like take all sorts of shit. I don't know. I also heard somebody found like a bunch of like bombs one time. I don't know. They have them like buried out there in certain spots. There's all sorts of conspiracies that go on with that place.
It's an interesting place. There's a
Wild.
lot of interesting. Remember that? What's that building that you guys? We get all on drugs and then talk about those buildings outside of CCC. You'd go walk through the trees and then there was these old like factories and shit. You know what I'm talking about, Anthony? Maybe it was an old school. You called it something. Like we'd walk.
The coal plant, like where they burn the coal.
No. Maybe we
What
shouldn't-
direction is it?
I don't know. It was like you'd walk through those trees that we walked through, with Mikey. And then, god damn it, I want to say you called it something. It was like this old abandoned like schoolhouse or factory. And it wasn't that far away from CCC. But I wish I knew. Long time ago.
Damn it, I don't remember.
Oh well.
Oh, was it out on the railroad tracks, like back in the depot?
It had to be. I don't know if it was. I don't know the depot, but it had to be by railroad tracks, I assume.
It had to be back in them tracks by the depot. I think I know what you're talking
It
about.
was like scary and haunted.
Well, I don't know about that, but I think it was the old smelting factory where they'd smelt shit
It
down.
started with an M. I want to say you called something with an M. Yeah, you. Like it was like it had its own little like history and lore.
Huh.
What the Moderna building or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So Grant,
What's up, man?
I always picture you. You always told me about like you build guns and shoot guns. You said that you had this little, essentially like a training grounds. I assume you have like your own militia going, or at least you used to.
Oh no, no. I just we
trained.
teach a lot of people how to shoot.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
also I feel like
Well-
you're more trained than the average person because you don't just shoot targets. I feel like you do those like little gun range like activities,
Sport shooting.
sport shooting, whatever you call that. The thing
It's
Keanu Reeves
really
does.
fun, man. It's like it's fun. It's like therapeutic.
Well, there's up here in North Dakota, there's a lot of those indoor places that, what do you call that? It's sport shooting, but where you shoot a pistol, then you run over here and you shoot a shotgun, you run over here and you shoot a assault rifle.
Like free gun courses.
Yeah, and there's a lot of those up here. Like a lot of people are into that.
Yeah, we don't have that around here. I just kind of do it myself, and I just
I
kind
know
of
you
like
do it
work
yourself,
on
but you're
and,
still doing the same thing.
it's fun. you know, I teach other people to do it, and then like I could teach them, and like we work on safeties and like how to make sure everything's safe. Like the other day, I was taking someone out, and she told me
Militia.
she had shot a bolt action rifle before, and I'm like, okay. So I was watching this ex-Army Ranger shoot, and I shouldn't say ex, you know, he was in there, so he saw active combat. He's still an Army Ranger. He's badass motherfucker. But I was watching him shoot, and I hear she just bullseyed straight chest on like a 350-yard target. Badass shot. I'm like, sweet, that's awesome. She looks up, blood pouring down her head. She put the stock under herself, and I wasn't really paying attention because I was looking
Oh.
at this guy, watching him, and just scoped herself just all the way down. I'm like, oh shit. Well, I had an IFAK. We wrapped that thing up with an Afghan bandage, and she was such a trooper. She went straight back to shooting. It was badass.
Fucking man, the amount
that
of
woman.
pain that has to cause.
Well, she came with this other guy. My old lady was working.
God damn. I
Bobby, have you ever seen my fiance?
feel like I met her once. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Only in his dreams.
Oh. Maddie, come say hi
Yeah,
to
I
Scotty.
feel like I've met her. You guys
He just got off work.
got
Hello.
hi.
I look insane, but
Well,
authentic nurse.
if you ever met me, I used to have long hair.
He used to have long hair, he says.
Like this?
Yeah.
It's a little longer.
Congrats on the wedding.
He said congrats on the win.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right. Love you.
Dude,
I
I
did.
am going down to it won't be tomorrow. It'll probably be next Tuesday or Thursday. I'm going down to the courthouse and I'm getting my handgun permit.
Good.
Like, what do
Um,
you mean handgun permit?
Well, I have to start, so I got to get. It's to purchase a handgun.
Oh, you just need your firearm purchase permit. It's not a handgun permit. It's just a firearm purchase permit.
Well, what did I get? I thought I had to get a handgun permit.
Yeah, I thought it.
Did you get your concealed carry?
No, it was just to buy a gun, I thought.
No, and I think it might be a county thing because in Hall County I have to get a handgun.
I was in
permit.
Scotts
well,
Bluff.
This is statewide. You have to get the same license throughout the states. You should get a firearm purchase certificate.
Oh, I'm gonna do that. That's like $5, right?
Yeah, you go to the sheriff's office
Yeah.
and
Yep.
yeah, is that what you did?
You
It
getting a
should be a
handgun?
firearm. You can buy anything with this. Yes.
Well,
Yep.
I'm gonna get a handgun and just get more comfortable because I haven't owned a gun in
Wait.
like 8
One
years,
sec, I'm going.
and I haven't shot in a while, and I want to get more comfortable with it because I honestly want like Rollins and Jordan to know how to use a gun well and be comfortable around them and not be stupid with them. But I need to have a gun. I feel like I need to have a gun in the house.
Who's Rollins and Jordan?
A wife and daughter.
You have a wife and a daughter.
Well, I have a wife and 2 daughters technically, but
2 daughters. Yeah, they should all know how to. Well, how old's the other one?
well, neither one of
How
them
old?
are old enough to be using a gun yet. I just mean
Wow.
in
Oh.
their
How
life.
old are they?
2 and a week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks, dog.
That's
Thanks,
awesome,
dog.
man. That's cool as shit.
But so in the park across the street from our house, somebody got stabbed with a pitchfork.
Mhm.
And downtown, there was these Hispanic kids, like teenagers, that shot just randomly and didn't hit people but hit cars with the handguns. And then somebody broke into our car. And so like
Damn.
I'm not comfortable not being able. I have knives,
Yeah.
but if somebody comes into my house with anything other than a knife,
That's what I want to know.
Have you
Are you like, would it be more comfortable? Would it be safer to just be really competent with a baseball bat, but as soon as somebody
No,
has a gun, you're fucked.
no.
You're
Yeah,
right.
that's the thing.
You're right. You
Like,
gotta understand the
No.
world you live in.
No, so no, you have to understand the law on it. Like a baseball bat, that's bad. Like, especially if they live. That's bad. Like, from a legal standpoint, it's better if they're dead.
Well,
yeah,
this
you don't want to maim them.
yeah, I trust this guy.
Well, no, like if they're actually about to cause you physical bodily harm or somebody you love, it is actually better if they end up not walking away from it than it is if they do. And that's like it sucks. Like it'd be better if you could just wound them, but in all reality, at that point, they're going to come back on you, and then it's going to look like, oh, you didn't actually feel threatened because you just wounded them. You didn't feel like you needed to take their life because yours was threatened, and that's how it's going
That's
to
a
come back.
failure of the
And
law.
I know it is. It is.
But you're right.
that's
Understand where
just-
we live. So
Oh, and
But-
yeah, if there's any guns around and you're the only guy with a baseball
Guns-
bat anyway, that you're just
Guns
stupid.
are awesome, and so are baseball bats. I mean, you can do it with whatever you want, but you have to make sure, like, if you ever take a handgun training course, they will tell you you have to show some form of retreat in Nebraska. So even if they're coming at you, you can't go at them. You have to make a show that you're going backwards. You have to be shooting backwards, and you have to learn how to shoot backwards.
and who can
That's why
prove
whenever I
that if
teach
it's like their word against
cameras,
yours?
do you know how many cameras there are all around you all the time?
True.
Well, in your house,
Crazy.
it's a little bit different. But
Well, yeah, but I mean, like if you're carrying it in public, like
no,
the big
because I was
thing,
gonna
like,
say,
and
I think Nebraska is a stand your ground state, right? Like if it's you on your property.
no, Nebraska's a castle doctrine.
Fucking kidding! I thought Nebraska was a stand your
Isn't it?
ground state.
I
No,
don't
I'm
think
pretty sure
I don't think so.
Nebraska's a castle doctrine. I think.
I wonder what Colorado is, because I get all my information from South Park.
I don't know. You can look me up on that, but I'm pretty sure we're castle doctrine, so they have to be breaking into your house and you have to show a form of retreat. They have to, if you leave your door unlocked, that leaves it open to speculation. But it's crazy.
It's fucked that you have to
what's going on
retreat in your own
Nebraska.
house. Like,
Yeah, I know, isn't it? I mean, around here, I don't think there's no jury that would ever say, you're wrong. Unless it was just like a really fucked up situation where some drunk kid just opened your door and fell asleep on your couch and just blasted his ass.
yeah,
But
Beans
Sure.
did that once.
I
Thank
mean,
God we still have
it
Beans.
could. There's all sorts of shit that could go on, but
You're right. It's not a stand your ground. That's
no. But
it. Yeah, it says you have a duty to retreat, which is insane. If somebody's like
Mhm.
kicked my door in,
you have to show a
That's-
form of retreat, even if that is one step backward. Though one step backward is technically a form of retreat. And then once you shoot them, and if they're on the ground, you instantly call 911 and start compressions to try to revive them.
well, if you shoot him in the head, there's no reviving him. Because if you have to shoot to kill,
Nope, because then you're going to get more charges. You're going to get a charge.
As long as you got to
Nope.
try to revive him regardless.
Nope, you have to shoot them center mass to prove accuracy, and that's where you have to put your rounds. If you shoot them in the head, it's going to show intent to kill, and then you're going to get a charge. In Nebraska,
But I thought you said
there's certain
wounding.
states.
Wounding would be worse.
Well, I mean, if you go for an instant kill, you're fucked. If you go to wound, you're fucked. I mean, if you go center mass and kill, you're fine. Usually.
This is so
It's
interesting.
crazy.
Yeah.
I definitely need more.
I
I'm not
need it.
comfortable.
I
Like I
need to
bought a
take
gun, I
that
bought a
class.
handgun, but I'm not comfortable with it. I haven't
I
touched
know.
it for
So
years.
the biggest thing I always ask somebody that wants to carry a handgun is, if you're walking through Walmart and you see this dude with a gun out and just slam a dude on the ground and start putting in his face saying, "I'm going to kill you, motherfucker. I'm going to kill you." What are you going to do if you have a gun in your waistband?
Fuck. That's a good question.
You
What are you gonna
can't
do
you
at that
can't
point?
shoot him.
Well, I mean, imagine you're in a state where it's legal to. What are you gonna do? This is an ethical question that I like to ask people. What are
I
you
would,
gonna do?
God, I'd want to say like this is fucked because it's
He
like
just
he,
they're okay. We're gonna put it this way: it's two white people, just two white people. They both look like family men. They're in polos. One dude slams the other on the ground. The other guy has a gun, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker! I'm gonna kill you!" And he's just sitting there yelling at the dude. What are you gonna do if you have a gun in your waistband?
Well, you don't want to get his attention and tell him to stop, even though I think you have to, because that's just going to antagonize him. If he sees you pull a gun and
So
say,
what are
"Hey,
you?
drop the
What are you
gun."
going? You're in there with your family shopping. What are you gonna do?
or get the fuck away from him. But like I want to say it's like you'd pull your gun out and be like, dude, stop it, or I'm gonna shoot you. But he's not really causing you any
He's got a
threat at
gun
this
too.
point.
So like, yeah,
But
that's
he
a good
is
way
like
to
in
say it.
general, it's like you don't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, it's a general threat to everybody in there. So I mean, like, it is a yeah. So what are you gonna do?
That's a good fucking
No,
question.
I don't know what the proper answer is there, because
See, there is no proper answer because what if the guy was a father and the guy he just pinned down was his daughter's rapist?
you
I mean, would you stop that? Or I would personally, I would just get my family out because nobody knows I have a gun. I would just leave.
Yeah, you'd have to just protect your family.
Nope,
well, but
just
that's hoping
fucking.
that's taking the gamble that he's not going to just like snap and start pointing the
Well,
gun at
that's why you
everybody else.
start. That's why you start leaving and getting towards an exit. Because once he does start snapping, then you have it and you know you got it. Once you get your everything you need to and start moving people out, you're good to go. So that's the biggest thing. Once you have that security, you have to realize that's what you are, is a security, and not just you just got to get everything away from it before you can engage because you're useless if you're dead. So like, or you're, shooting somebody. If you kill somebody, it's got to be for a just cause. You just don't want to.
Pop
Got to
some
know
mother.
everything before you go into it.
My thing is you don't pull the gun out unless you're gonna shoot someone in the next 4 seconds. Like, I mean, that obviously has its
That's
own.
very debatable.
It's very debatable, but it's
You should
like
come do some car training with us.
somewhat.
Car training. We get these derby cars, and before we demo them, like we set in them, and we get these CO2 airsoft guns, and we put masks on, and we sit there and we act like we're driving around, and somebody's going to attack another one, but we don't know who's going to attack first. And sometimes we'll just pull and like we'll try to control the other person's gun so we don't get hit. We call it when we get hit so we can train with guns.
What I'm talking about. We need this training here. I love it.
Hey Scott, you got to move to
Kinda fun.
Nebraska.
I need some good old airsoft militia training. I'm gonna join the Grant militia.
I just put this together while we were talking on the.
I thought you
video.
holding the top of a gun. I didn't see you put it together.
Well, yeah, I was
Build me
putting
an
it together
AR.
on the table. It's very simple, very easy, so simple. And also, the government turned down the ATF's deal about 80% lower, so they're legal again. But binary triggers and the stocks braces are no longer illegal. So if you have a brace and like a short barrel, that's like 10 years in prison.
Good thing you know your
No
laws.
bueno.
One
Well, I've
cool
been to
thing.
jail enough. I need to look at them. So
My wife's uncle or old uncle, whatever, he got his permit for a silencer. That was really I got to shoot that thing. That was pretty fun. That I mean, that shit was fun. Like you shoot it and the pop of it hitting the target is louder than the gun.
what was the caliber you were shooting?
I want to say it was a 223, but
Oh, out of like what were you shooting it out of?
I don't remember. I don't
Was
remember
it
at
an
all.
AR or
Honestly.
a long gun?
It was a long gun.
It was a long gun, so it probably had like a Oh yeah, I bet that was pretty quiet. I bet that was a nice little plinker. Scope on it.
Yeah, he had a scope on it. We just sighted it in
Oh,
real
yeah.
quick when her grandpa has a little range they set up when they're sighting their guns for deer hunting, and we just went out there and set it up real quick. And I mean, that was cool. It was quiet, dude. It was so quiet, and it, like I said, when you'd hear the and then you'd hear the pop of the target, like it was louder than the fire.
Yeah, that's like when you shoot a semi-automatic 22 under suppressed fire, the sound of the action is louder than the actual shot. So like if you're shooting that, it's just all you hear is the clunk clunk
Yeah, that's
and like a little clunk clunk.
He
Pretty
also
awesome.
he also had a long barrel 22 revolver that was just impractical as fuck, but fun as fuck to shoot. Like
Well, did it have a stock on it?
he didn't have a stock on it, no, but he could
Oh,
have a stock on it.
it was a
But
Heritage Rough Rider.
they're fucking. It's so impractical, but god damn
I
it, it was
know.
fun.
It just
They're
looks funny.
awesome. They make
Feel
one that
like
has
a
a stock
fucking
on it with like a 20-inch barrel. Dude, they're crazy.
fuck yeah, dude. His barrel was like that fucking long, dude. It's so stupid.
Damn. If you didn't already have 3 jobs, I'd suggest you get one of those like airsoft ranges where people go out and have airsoft airsoft battles with the indoor, outdoor, urban
Yeah.
settings, and then they actually send some of the military out there to train. It's
I see they do that in Hastings.
Oh, okay, yeah. It just seems like wherever there's little
Springfield.
kids that have airsoft guns, it seems like a pretty decent business.
Yeah, they don't do like the business deal of it. It's just the military, but like I don't think a lot of kids around here have them. I don't know.
Every
I
kid has
know we
airsoft
use
guns.
them.
Airsoft guns are so like good now. At least
Well,
in
yeah,
Scotts
especially
Bluff,
since
they
you
were
can get gas
insane.
blowback.
What?
You can get that gas blowback now, so it's like realistic blowback on the gun.
Everything about them is realistic. It's like it's to me if you had like a few extra acres and you built some cheap house, built some storage unit deals, you could have kids out there all the time. I mean, the liability of them getting hurt would be a bitch, but then you could also have the military come out there and train. You could train your militia, dude. I don't know. It just seems
Dude,
like
that was
I
my
don't.
thing.
I don't have a militia though.
I'm
It's just
starting.
me,
I'm
That
man.
starting a
dude,
militia at your house.
that's what he says, but that's what anybody
I'm a one
that has a
man.
militia
Like
would
once
say.
that shit goes down, I'm fucking out. I got it all planned out, and we is out.
Well, I just appreciate you got your dogs trained and you got your dogs that have Kevlar vests.
Yes, sir. We all do. Everybody has. And they're
His
not
dogs
Kevlar.
have
They're not
Kevlar
really,
vests. His dogs have ammo pouches. He's fucking
they're
set.
ceramic plates.
That was
Plates.
always my thing. Is I said if I won the lottery, like a big one, like a big lottery, um, going to make a little, basically town out of shipping containers, and it's going to be in the woods. But I'm going to make a little town of shipping containers, and so we got that and trees. They're going to be stacked and layered and welded together. So there's 2 levels, single levels. It's going to have like um, sewage pipe running, dug into some parts. I want to make an airsoft slash paintball course. That's, I mean, I just think that would be fun as fuck.
Dude, and it seems
Dude,
ludicrous
if,
as fuck. Like,
if you ever win the lottery, let me know because there is this place behind my house. It's a sand pit, and it is literally like you go from Nebraska to Nevada, and it's just got these big ponds that like have these like 50-foot drop offs and like down into this huge ravine that's like 40, 50-foot deep. Crazy.
But
But yeah, if you
well,
ever want to do something like that, we could definitely kick it off
just
with that.
doesn't that
Perfect.
fucking sound like a blast? And then just fucking once a month or
Awesome.
twice a month on a Saturday. Hey, we meeting up at Fairfield apparently. Gonna go
The
Get on the
pit.
course. Like, fuck yeah, let's go. Let's go make a day of
You
just
could
fucking
go
shooting each other.
That shit would be
sand dune
rented
shit
out all the time.
around. Oh, yeah, you could rent that shit. Oh, you'd be making money off of it. It'd be a good deal.
Insurance would have to be fucking huge.
That's
Just
the-
have people sign a
Yeah.
waiver.
It seems you could figure it out. We got lawyers in the family.
There's got to be water around there somewhere.
The
I
kids
know
got
enough
water in them.
lawyers. What do you think?
That would be so
I
fun.
didn't shoot you. I shot your water.
What?
Oh, my sister's in like
Uh-huh.
she does water law mostly, so not like a criminal lawyer.
Well, I think I'm probably gonna sign off here pretty soon, man.
We have been going a while.
I'm pretty hard at it, and I gotta actually go to work tomorrow. So
Fuck that.
I gotta go to work tomorrow too. But
We'll
I'll
say
stay on for another few minutes.
I'm gonna say this, and then I'll be out. But I gotta say, spreading the paternity leave between like Tuesdays and Thursdays was the best, dude.
You go to work one day, then you're off the next day.
Every day is Friday, basically. Like it's either Friday at work because I know I have the next day off, or it's Friday when I'm off work, or like Sunday, I guess technically when I'm off
Damn.
work. And
How many weeks of that you got?
2 more after this. Well, technically, so I have Tuesday, Thursday next week, and then Tuesday the following week. But I had already taken that Friday off because it's the 18th, and so I took that off. So I'll have that Friday off just for whatever, and then I'll have the following Tuesday off again for paternity leave. And then it's it, dude. That was the best move. I've been eating good at home. Like I sent that in
Mhm.
bitches, right? My fucking dude. I've just been making eggs and meat and rice and shit, and just living life, man. Hanging out. My wife's been doing like going to doctor's appointments and stuff, and I've just been chilling with our new daughter. And if I was rich, or if I had a job where I could work from home, I don't. It's a good thing I don't, because I could settle into that like way too easy, and I don't. It wouldn't be good. I would get like way too comfortable working from home.
Nothing wrong with that, as long as you have hobbies and leave the house every once in a while.
Well, if I would, man, I'd just be like fucking. I'm just gonna finish up this quote and then go make a little lunch, and then maybe watch something. Like I could fucking work on quotes while there's something on the TV, dude. I would be bad. I'd
Yeah,
turn into
You have to have
fucking
discipline.
recluse. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think I would do my work, but I think I would enjoy being at home like too much that I would never want to go to the office again. Just fucking.
Nothing wrong with that.
But all right, I'm getting out of here. Grant, it was nice meeting you, dog.
Nice meeting you too. We're
Let
gonna
you
have
know
to
when I win the
link
lottery.
up sometime, buddy. Hell yeah.
Yep, I'm in GI.
All right, man. I'll get your shit through Scotty. Later, bro.
Gone.
So, Scotty, how's it been going, my dude?
Dude, good. Just working. I got a good job going. Kind of getting bullshit because getting all corporate. But that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking going on my own here soon.
Yeah, hard hat every day kind of thing.
No.
Not
like-
that corporate.
No, just bullshit like bureaucracy and
I hear
trying
ya,
to
of course,
trying to get
man.
paid what you should get paid, and
Yeah.
it's bullshit. We used to a bathroom, they charge these people like $20,000 for a shower renovation, just the shower, and people pay for it, and then I used to get 10%. So depending on if it
Mhm.
was 15,000 or 20,000, I'd get a decent amount of that, 10%. And then they switched to like, I get paid for each thing I do, like piecemeal. So like, I get paid for each thing I do. So that way, if like there's an extra thing to do, I don't get paid for it unless I fight for that money. So now I'm like fighting for if every little extra thing I have to fight for it. And my manager today told me, he's like, yeah, you're basically not, there's not like a way to get that money. Like you're fucked. I'm just like, okay, well,
That's
I'm fucking done.
stupid.
Like, if you're not gonna pay me for working, then I'm gonna leave.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm like, that's where I'm at. But the shitty part is like, it's a decent job. So I think I'm gonna go another 3 months, then kind of peace out.
Yeah. You still thinking about heading around here? Or,
Yeah, I mean,
dude,
GI Hastings, I'm thinking about that. I've got a lot of buddies down there.
yeah, like I'm like, man, I could hook you up in Fairfield for super cheap for a plot of ground. You just want to put a tiny home or something?
Dude, fuck yeah, I want some ground. Build some houses out
I'm
there.
like, in Fairfield, I could get you almost like an entire block for probably like maybe 6K.
I'm down. Let me stop
Yeah,
talking about it. Somebody's gonna
let
steal it.
me, nah, yeah, let me do, well, nobody knows the deals I know.
Dude.
Let me do some talking to some people and maybe we can make this happen.
Well, it's like Fairfield's a little, yeah, it's a little, I want to be out, I don't know where I want to be, because it seems like
It's right there connected to some nice highways that go straight to the interstate, and
I'm
it is
down.
far from Walmart, but there's some nice grocery stores. One of
Well,
them
it's,
sells all sorts of groceries and guns and bullets.
you
Nice.
got
I like it.
lumber yards around there.
Blue Hill has a nice lumber yard. There's a nice couple in Hastings. There's some in Aurora. It depends on what
But that's
kind
where
of.
I'm
There's
like,
some in
shouldn't I
Superior.
live closer to like Grand Island and Hastings, or you can, but
Depends on how much you want to drive, but it depends on how many people you want to hire.
well, I'm not gonna hire anybody.
No, it's just you.
I mean, I probably
Yeah,
eventually have to hire somebody, but I'd rather not.
yeah, no, I'm sure you'll freaking there's a lot of freaking work that people want to do get done around here.
I mean, you know more than I
It'd be
do.
very
It's
easy. Where
like you
people are
probably
just
do need to hire.
begging to get it done.
What?
Like there's people that want me to do stuff and I'm like months out still on that stuff. It's like I could do it, like, but I'd be working until midnight, you know.
Yeah, fuck that.
And it's also yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting on it.
That's where it's at.
Tony, you still have your kitty?
Yes and no. She's lived with my parents for a long time. She's still up in Scotts Bluff. So
Is she?
she's just like an outside cat. Lives out in the mountains with the mountain lions. Like she has a cat door she can go in and out. She lives outside, so it's like
It, she manages though, so she's a
she's
ferocious specimen.
she's great. She's like 11 years old or so. Lived outside her whole life, but it's if I took her, she'd have to be like an apartment cat or something. You know?
Yeah, and she probably don't want to be cooped up, you know.
Well, but the question is she doesn't get the love and attention she deserves out of my parents, but she lives wild and free. Or she could get all the pets and love she wants and live in a small apartment. So it's like, what the fuck do you do? She's 11 years old. She's kind of stuck in her ways.
Yeah, she probably enjoys what she's doing. I bet she catches all sorts of wild game that nobody knows about.
Yeah, Melania, she terrorizes the local wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So my dogs do, dude. They're freaking poachers, man.
when I do move though, it's like be nice to take her with me. If I could figure out a solution.
Would you ever want a dog?
Oh, fuck yeah, I'd want a dog. But see, the other thing is my parents have a dog, and I have this stupid thought that it's like, oh, I can't get a dog until that dog dies. Or then, like, when I go home with a new dog, then my dog's gonna hate me. Which is dumb.
Yeah.
Which is dumb.
My dogs do freak out when I come home. Like sometimes, like I work on shit that's like full of other dog hair, and I'm like smelling like dog all the time or like cow shit, and they freak out. Like they jump all over me. They're like, "What the hell is this, Dad? What the hell is this?"
Yeah, but they're not judging you, so it's like, why not get a dog?
Well, if you ever want one, man, I think I'm gonna breed my female. And if you want one, let me know.
We'll
I'll
see.
just give it to you.
We'll see. That would be down. It's
Just
just the
because
other
I know
thing is,
you'd be a good dog dad. But they are very hyper, very energetic animals.
which right now it's like I've got a 2-bedroom apartment. Like, I don't know. It'd be a lot of. They're just gonna be sitting home all day, so
Well, I work a lot, and my dogs are fine. You know, you
yeah.
just gotta take them out and run them when you get home. It's just kind of almost like a hobby at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And you could almost make that into its own kind of podcast, you know?
Yeah, I do
Because
definitely
them
want a
dogs
dog.
are fucking nuts. Like you get them these big blue balls that are made for horses, and they're bigger than they are. So sometimes they like chase them, and they're chasing them too fast, and they just fucking do like 4 somersaults over the fucking thing. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I gotta see
I'm
that.
talking about you. I'm talking about you, you big bitch.
Yeah, I see him running around in the background.
Yeah, they're crazy, dude. Yeah, I'm redoing the floors down here. We're doing an epoxy floor. I just gotta finish tearing all the carpet out. We're waiting until we can move all this shit upstairs, and then the shit's getting
Epoxy over
epoxied.
what? Is it like a concrete floor?
Yeah, it's a concrete floor. I thought about putting those heating pads in the epoxy. I saw a guy do that, but I don't know for if I ever have to fix it. It sounds like a bitch.
Like
But
electrical
I guess
heating pad deals?
yeah, it's just like if it fucks up, it's done. So it's just like I don't even think I want to waste the money. I'm just gonna call it good of epoxy.
I think so too. Cold floors are nice.
I like being cold personally.
Yeah.
It makes sleeping better.
What was I gonna say? I went kayaking last weekend. I'm trying to do a long kayaking trip, like 2.5 weeks. Trying to kayak to Nashville. My next thing. So I went kayaking. I did 2 days. Like Friday, about 10 o'clock, I put in this dam clear north of town. And then I
Yeah.
took the Missouri River down back to Bismarck. And went like 40 miles, slept in my hammock, and then went another 40 miles, slept in my tent, and then it was like 5 miles back home. So it was like 85 miles in 2 days. It was like,
Yeah,
I'm sore, my neck hurts, but that's
that's pretty fucking cool.
that's my hobby right now. I'm gonna try to train for this kayaking trip. Gonna go
You
down the
got any
Missouri
like
River. I
little,
want to go to Omaha to Nashville.
you got any like little bumper deals on it to like help with the brakes and things?
No, there's no brakes. What do you mean?
Well, like I mean, like when you're paddling, like for when you're moving, like you got like a
No.
deal you makeshift on there. Because I mean, I was just on the Missouri here last weekend. It really helps if you have like a little makeshift thing out there that
Mm-hmm.
kind of catches some buoyancy of the craft. It really helps you also float down, catches your speed because the rivers usually about this time of the year run about 8 miles an hour.
Up here, it's like not that fast. It's like 3 to 5, like 4 miles an hour.
Well, with the rain we've gotten around here,
Nice.
it's about 8 around like once you hit Council Bluffs, it's about 8 miles an hour
Interesting.
downstream.
Well,
So
see,
that's what we were looking at last week, but
but there was
we're going
no,
back on it this weekend. So
there weren't very big currents. I mean, there weren't very big waves, so like I wouldn't think you need one of those like pontoon deals. But
no, they're just nice for extra drag. Like if you gotta go, what's nice is if you build them right, you can pull it up. So when you're going back upstream, it's a lot less drag. But when you're going downstream, it helps carry you.
yeah. Well, and
Like
I
we
noticed
were
when you
going,
stop paddling, you'll turn sideways, and it'll just float you down sideways. So I bet that might help with keeping you straight.
yeah, it also would do that, yeah. But we went out and there was this one dude, and that's all he ran was a kayak, and that's how he had it built. He had like a bag on one side that he filled with a little bit of sand, and then on the other side he had that thing, and he would add his fishing stuff on that side, and it had like a pool floaty that he'd wrap his line around and just kind of drag with him. And that's how he ran it. And he would go down river just 40, 50 miles. Just that's what he did. And then somebody would pick him up, take it all back, and he'd do it again. He was retired, and that was his hobby.
Yeah.
He was a cool dude. I almost died in the fucking river, man. It was a bad deal.
You did? As a kid?
Well, no, I mean, just pick up last weekend or what, 2 weekends ago?
Would you fall in?
No, I jumped in after this blue cat. It wrapped itself up in a line we had set, and I jumped in to get it untangled, and it turned out it was wrapped around the whole tree, and I went under, and I kind of let go of the branch, trying to feel for stuff, and next thing I knew, I was out there a second. I was like, oh
Damn.
shit, this ain't fun.
Yeah, you got sucked under a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you hit your head, you're fucked.
I felt it though, and I got back up, but I'm like, God damn, that wasn't cool.
Well, that's what I hear. I mean, water's scary. Like, especially get 8-mile-an-hour
You
current.
you can't see shit, and like there's these drop offs where it's just like it's flat and it's just straight down, and it just
I've
and
heard.
that's where it flows.
Yeah, I've heard some stories that, like, especially kids. I mean, they'll just get sucked under.
Yeah.
You won't see them again.
No,
It's a second
No.
deal. You're gone.
fish eat them. Davy Jones locker kind
That's
of
why
shit,
everyone's.
man.
My whole family's all like scared and like, oh, let me know when you're. Let me know every few hours where you're at and all this shit. And it's like, I'm fine. Like the river up here, it's so calm. Like it's not like you're going down rapids. You're just. I
You
never
just
got
gotta
wet once.
respect it.
What?
And you really have to watch it. You gotta respect the river, and you gotta watch the river, because you gotta watch if you're going down the river and you see things that are going like that, you probably shouldn't be hopping in.
Yeah.
That's a lot of suction going, and if you do get in, don't ever swim towards trees or branches or any of that. Try to stay in the clear of shit
Hmm.
until you see like a bankment, and then try to swim to the bankment. Don't ever swim towards trees or any of that shit, because there's a suction going under that, and it'll suck you down there, and you get pinned.
Makes sense. Huh.
So, yeah, it's something you got to watch out for on the river, man, when you're just doing that riverman shit.
I'm doing that riverman shit. So
Mhm.
dude, it's cool. My kayak, it has 2 fishing pole holders right behind the seat. So there's 2
Yeah.
of them. So I went to Menards and I got 2 pieces of 5-foot conduit, metal conduit, and then 1 piece of 5-foot PEX pipe, like blue PEX pipe.
Yeah.
And I got just the right sizes, so it was super tight. I had to use a lighter to expand the PEX pipe and shove it over. I bent the conduit about 6 inches. So I had these 2 bent pieces of conduit, and then I shoved the PEX pipe over it, and I made an awning. And so all in the awning was only supported by, it was stuck in my fishing pole holders, and it was a circle around the top of me, and I put a tarp over it, and it didn't even need support. It was so stable. Like, yeah.
Give me 1 second, Scotty. Sorry, the old lady hopped in the shower, and I was enjoying it. The view.
Nice.
All right, so what do we got to talk about, Scotty?
Well, 2
Like, you've
things.
been-
I was thinking about being done here soon, but I saw my Snapchat group. They talked about there's a new gun law that says you don't need a concealed carry permit in Nebraska anymore.
It starts on September 10th.
Yep, that's what it said. Nice.
Yep,
And then I
yep,
was talking
yep,
about
yep,
my
yep.
kayak awning, and you ran off saying you were excited.
Oh shit! Yes, 1 sec. Fuck. I'm gonna send this thing to you.
What?
So this is a solar panel, and this has got a. You open this little pouch here. It's got a, USB charger.
Huh.
You can put on top of it.
Yeah.
So it just folds out, and then it's got all sorts of little like clippy hookers you can hook on there. And
Damn.
yeah,
That's.
give me your address, man.
I'll just float down to you and we'll see you in Omaha.
Yeah, shit, yeah, man. Yeah, I've had this thing for a few years now. I've used it one time on a 3-week backpacking trip and haven't used it since. So, man, you're gonna need it. Use it.
Nice.
Need some
Well,
use.
thanks, man. Where'd you go backpacking for 3 weeks?
West Virginia.
Oh shit. Is that like the Appalachian Trail type thing or?
No, we went. It was a Boy Scout deal, so we went out and we just. I don't know where we went exactly, but we kind of went and we went through DC on a trip, and then we went out into this walked. I think it was a 20-mile hike out,
Holy
and then we
shit.
hung out there for like a week, and then we came back. But it was a
That's
pretty
intense
fun,
for Boy
fun
Scouts.
experience.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
we did a lot of crazy shit. We would go climbing when we were out there, and like that's where I got all my climbing experiences when we were doing shit like that. Because we'd go climbing on actual rock,
Mm-hmm.
so we were having to be very careful with our ropes and like what we put them on, so we didn't, or where we stepped and not stepping on the rope to put sand in them, because we were jumping off tall shit.
Rappelling and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I only did
That
that.
was mostly what we did.
We went to a Boy Scout camp, but it was very controlled. Like we went on like a. It was just a 1 day thing where we went out to these rocks and, climbed the rocks and then rappelled down. But it was all. It wasn't like we didn't set the ropes or anything.
Oh yeah, kind of like almost a bouldering kind of exercise.
Mm-hmm. It was like one of those big Boy Scout camps where you go for a week and you go to like South Dakota or something.
Did you ever go to Camp Augustine?
Yep, Augustine and Medicine Mountain. Those are the two. Is that in Colorado?
Augustine's in Grand Island.
I remember
It's
that.
like right
I'm
outside
sure I
Grand
have because I
Island.
remember that name.
Yep. They had Order of the Arrow. They had like
Yup.
teepees.
I remember all that. I didn't know it was in Grand Island. I was so young. It's like I didn't know where we were.
Yeah.
It's interesting that it
It
was
was
in
a good
Grand
time.
Island. I remember the Order of the Arrow though. I was definitely there.
Yeah, I probably met you more than likely.
That's funny.
It's crazy how that shit works, man.
I went to Halsey one time. It wasn't Boy Scouts. It was just I went to Halsey, that camp, like 4-H camp.
Yeah.
That was insane. That's when I learned how to cuss. And I was just like 10 years old or 12 years old or whatever. The first time leaving home, and that was insane. They played this game called like Ghost or something. You go out in the woods at night and play tag or whatever the game was. But there's just like these, it's like 100-acre forest, and they're like, all right, go
Run free,
hide.
children.
Yeah, it's like hopefully y'all come back.
Yeah. Was the freaking mystery monster gotcha?
Well, sounds like you had ropes and stuff when you were climbing. We went to Needles Highway, in South Dakota. Like
Oh,
it's called Needles Highway, and it's just these like spires of rocks. It's just rocks, and it's like those needles. I mean, they look like just spires of rocks, and you'd park on the side of the highway with like there's like 2 adults and 12 kids, and they would just be like, all right, go climb on the rocks, and we're like shimmying up these like cracks and like going up like 50 feet, climbing these things, and no one ever got hurt. It's crazy. No ropes or anything.
Yeah, once you learn how to move your arm into a rock, you can like make a pretty darn good anchor point.
Yeah, rock climbing would be fun to learn. Oh, dude, I got this book here. Hang on. I'm getting somewhere on my goals. I don't know if I've ever told you about this goal, but so my first goal was buy a van. I did that.
Yep.
Second goal was buy a paramotor. You ever heard of paramotoring?
Oh, we've talked about paramotoring. Did you actually get one?
I bought
You
the
got a
wing.
book?
I bought the wing. So this wing was like $4,000. And then this is like,
Oh,
and the
damn, I
motor's
wish
like
you would've-
$6,000.
Wish you would have talked to me. I could have got you one for 5,500 here in Geneva.
The motor?
I've been talking. Well, no, the whole setup. I've been talking to somebody about it because I knew you were getting one, and I wanted to get one so we could fly together.
Dude, I
I
can't
could have got you
wait.
one for 5,500.
You should get it. I've already got mine kind of set
You
up. I
need to
kind of want,
show
I
me.
want, I
No,
want a brand,
show me.
I want a brand new system. I don't want any used stuff.
Oh, you just put a new motor in it last year. I was like, this thing's perfect.
Well,
It was a beautiful setup. I've been looking at them since we talked about it last
well, you
time.
should
'Cause I'm like,
buy it. I'll buy it off you.
nah, I don't know.
Because
Maybe after the wedding.
at some point, you
I
know,
like
I'm gonna
that
buy a,
one guy
I'm gonna
up
buy a
there.
brand new motor, but at some point, I'm gonna have to learn how to fix it and work on it, and so
I'm not. Scotty's saying we should buy the paramotor, and then eventually he'll buy it off of us. That one I found in Geneva, you know, for 5,500.
yep,
I was showing it to you.
I'm
the
getting
other day.
trained.
That'd be freaking awesome.
I got like 2 days of training in Minneapolis. It was pretty cheap. It was only like $500 to get trained. I mean,
Yeah.
it was only 2 days, so I've never had the motor on my back, but that's the next step. Is I'll get the motor, put it on my back, and
Figure out
get the rest of the
takeoff and
training.
everything.
Yeah, because I've got the thing, and I can run around with it. Like, you kite it on the ground and learn how to
So is
control
that
it on the
something you
ground.
could probably figure out on one go, or is it like one of them things you definitely probably want someone teaching you?
It's one of those
'Cause there's
things.
one of them deals. I was just gonna buy it and go for it.
I was gonna do that too with a hang glider and all that stuff.
Well, I was just about to buy the thing and just fucking hell send the thing because you don't have to have nothing.
Nope.
I mean,
It's
tell
one of those
me-
deals where, you know, the first 3 flights, it's if you crash, then you crash, and if you don't, then you'll be fine. It's like, you know, you got to learn,
Well-
and there's gonna be things you don't know. I would say it's worth the $1,000 to just get trained, but you know, if you're gonna spend $5,000 on this thing, you might as well spend $6,000 and get some training. But
You know, that's probably the way to go about it.
but
you know?
honestly, the biggest
Probably
deal,
looking at it from a like reckless point of view.
well, it's like a money point of view. It's like you're already spending this much money. You might as well spend a little bit more money and get a little insight.
So that way you don't fuck up your investment.
Honestly, just buy this it's called the Powered Paragliding Bible, and it tells you everything you need to know. You don't need training. You just need that book.
I just need.
So
I can usually read and retain shit pretty well.
if you get the kite, if you get the wing, then you just run around on the ground and learn how to control it on the ground. And then you get the motor on your back. It's like 50 pounds. Then you learn how to run with that motor on your back. And then you fire up the motor, and then you fly. And then you learn how to fly, and then you learn how to land. It's just like a progression thing. Like, learn how to
does-
kite it on the ground before you do anything.
Yeah. So does that motor run off like a centrifugal clutch, or how does that motor operate?
I don't know about the clutch. It's a 2-stroke. I don't know anything about it.
Well, okay. Well, I love 2-strokes. 2-strokes are simple, but I don't know how the fan operates. So when you mean start it while you're running, do you mean like
No, you start. I'm just saying as the progression of when you're
you have
learning.
to?
No, you'll have it running before you start running. You'll
Okay.
have the motor
Okay.
on. I think you can have a pull. You'll have it on your back, and you'll pull start it on your back,
Okay.
and then it'll be running, but the fan won't be going. And then you'll get the wing inflated by running forward. So you have to run forward with this thing on your back. And then once it's inflated and it's above you and stable, like it's not drifting around, once you're running forward, then you hit the throttle and the fan starts up, and then it pushes you. And then you just keep running, and at some point, you know, you get off the ground. You just
Okay.
what I need is a simulated throttle. I need to build like a bike a bike brake or something I can hold in my hand. Because I'm running
Yeah.
around with these brakes. You have two lines in your hands. They're called brakes.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to have the throttle too, so you can get used to controlling it and throttling at the same time. I haven't done that yet.
Well, that's why I wanted to know what kind of engine you had, because I'm like, depending on what kind of engine it is, I mean, that would be so simple to modify. Like,
I ain't trying to modify it.
I don't know.
I want a brand new high tech engine. I'll fix it if it needs fixed, but I'm not modifying it.
That ain't me, man. Me and my buddy, he's got his pilot's license in an airplane, and we just love his is an experimental aircraft. Is what his
Yeah.
license is. We just love making that thing fucking go. It's fun.
That would be fun. I gotta.
I like that stuff. Like, at that point, it's like you're in it, you're dedicated, you done built it. If something goes wrong, it goes wrong. Same as demo derby.
Well, and it's less dangerous than you think as long as you're up in the air high enough and your wings don't
Yeah,
fall
because then
off.
you almost got that parachute kind of deal to kind of
Yeah, if your engine
at
goes
least
out, you're
slow your
fine.
descent.
Like
Yeah.
the engine goes out all the time. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but the engine is gonna go out on you at some point. So
You
then
ever
you just
seen
have
that
to
dude
have
that goes up to like,
the peace of mind to like, okay, where can I land? You have like I've got 5
Yeah.
to 10 minutes to figure out where I'm gonna land because I'm so high and I have to glide down there. But yeah, you're fine. It's a
you ever
relatively
see that dude that
it's
goes up to like 20,000 feet or something
yeah,
on a paramotor?
it's about as definitely as far as you'd go. Probably less than that.
God damn! Imagine if you were like to connect with a plane or something.
Yeah.
Just tear you up. You're just going down. It's like, oh fuck, man.
Well,
Click
then
for
you have a
this.
reserve parachute for sure. You don't have, some people don't fly with one, but I'm definitely getting a reserve parachute. It's,
Yeah, the one that I was looking at did not come with a reserve.
oh, you can buy one. It's like right on the side. You just grab it on the side and throw it out. But these are all little things that training would be nice to know. Because it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Because like
Just like
sometimes the wing
firearms, we
isn't
were talking
rigid,
about
it's just a
firearms training.
parachute. So like it can collapse on you. And you just gotta, the wings are so high tech now that they'll inflate and you'll be fine. Like, I'm not too worried about it.
What are the ones that get drugged behind an airplane? Paragliders?
Yeah, or parasailing, or I don't know, because people get towed up to
Or just
altitude.
glider crafts?
Oh,
Yeah,
though,
glider
yeah,
crafts.
those are like gliders, I think. You can do that in Arizona for like $200. You can go fly those gliders.
Wouldn't that be kind of cool just to kind of like learn it?
Well, but it's just a different machine. So I think the gliders are like an airplane you fly with a stick.
But no, just more for feeling with like the wind difference.
Oh, you mean like a
How the wind
parasail, like
interact.
driving behind a boat or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, wouldn't that be kind of like the same thing, just to feel like the wind difference and how that works?
Maybe. I don't know if you can really control those as much. I wonder how much control you have over, like, if you have brakes like they do.
Yeah,
'Cause that's the only way you
I don't
control
know.
them is by the two brakes in your hands.
I've never done it. I was just asking out of curiosity.
I bet you're right, though. I mean, it's better than nothing.
Oh fuck!
But yeah, that's what I like to do.
I was trying to show you Garfield
I run around
because
in
I
the
missed Bruce.
Oh, dude, I miss Bruce too. He's gone.
Bruce was like the OG, man.
I'm glad you know. Everybody know. If Anthony was here, he'd know Bruce. Everybody knew Bruce.
Dude, Bruce was like the OG of bongs for me.
He died in
Cause like,
Scottsbluff.
dude, he died a horrific death.
Yep, I have a picture of him sitting on top of my car in the McDonald's parking lot.
And the cop didn't even have the common decency to put him on the ground and respect the craftsmanship.
No, he did. I got him too. That was I was having a blast that day, honestly, because
Oh, he did put it on the
yeah,
ground.
like I got him to take it off. I was like, can you take him off can we have like a little respect? Like, can we take him off the top of my car? And he pulls him down. I'm like, isn't she just beautiful? Like, just look at it. I'm just like trying to crack jokes.
That was such a nice bong, man.
And my favorite part, they called it soft glass. Like, so it was kind of different. It wasn't just like glass, you know, it was like made out of this different kind of textured glass. And if you brought it outside in the cold, it would shatter. So like you had to be careful with it.
And they were not careful. Have you ever met Usama bin Laden? This is
Never heard of
Usama
it.
bin.
Now that's a
Usama bin
classic
Laden.
bong. That's the classic shape of a bong.
That's my Usama bin Laden.
I just recently got they just have that fake like Delta 8 stuff. It's not even Delta 8 up here. It's like other stuff. But
Delta 9 or Delta 10.
no,
or-
yeah, THCO, HHC, all that stuff.
Mhm.
But I recently got this little it looks like a strawberry. It's like about the size of your fist with your thumb up. Like it looks like a strawberry, but it's a little tiny bong. It's awesome. But
Hell yeah.
I got the strawberry bong now, and I bought some salvia on salviahut.com to see if that worked, and it did. They sent me some salvia.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It works.
That's one thing I had never done with salvia.
You got to do it out of a bong, and you leave the world.
Really?
You leave this world for about 5 minutes, then you're completely sober when you come back.
Well, yeah, I mean that's like the same thing with like I may or may not have done mushrooms a time or 10, but like same way. You know, you do them and then well, I mean, I guess how are you doing with that? How's that been going? Your
What?
mushroom deal? Like you still having your PP
Oh
or
no,
persistent?
so yeah, the salvia was fine, but
Grab the mushroom like that's still going on with you or that
no,
kind of
no,
slowed
not
down?
really. So it's not really mushrooms. I haven't even done mushrooms since, I want to say.
Since that trip?
Yeah. I don't think I've done mushrooms since then, but I think it's because of just smoking weed would do it. Just smoking weed would make me like start fucking going crazy. But then
Are you still smoking weed?
no, see, no, but I was still trying to figure out what was going on, seeing if I could smoke weed or not. And I haven't had any of those crazy thoughts for a long time, so I think I'm over that. I think I would be down to try psychedelics again, but I don't know. It's more of like whenever I smoke weed, I don't get any of those crazy thoughts anymore. It's more of that I just sit around and look at my phone all day. And then then I do it the next day, and then I do it the next day. So I'm just like so addicted to it that's the issue. I'm not like worried about my mind anymore, I guess. Like that's not an issue anymore. That's cool.
Um,
It's more of just like I can't control the amount I do because once I start doing it, and then I do more, and then I do more, I just have no moderation with it. But
yeah.
the PPD or whatever the hell I was dealing with, that's not really affecting me anymore.
Well, that's awesome. That's good.
Yeah, no, I could still smoke
I
weed.
know therefore
Like if I was if I was at your house and we smoked some weed, it'd be fine. But I would the next day I'd be wanting to smoke more weed. So it's like that's the only
I
issue,
get it.
which is a lot better than what I was dealing with. So
Yeah. Because I know that one time when you came over here in your van, it was just one of them deals, man.
was I trying to smoke or what?
Well, no, you were just real upset with what was going on with your after your CO trip.
Yeah. That was a
So,
fuck deal.
anyway, man, you gonna be back around like that September 13th?
No. No. Well,
No.
probably not, but I was considering just taking like 3 weeks off and just doing this kayaking trip down to Nashville. If I can train myself and be ready for it by then. I was actually thinking about doing it like mid-September. So there is a chance.
Well, what are you doing around September 16th? You want to come to a wedding?
I would like to try. That'd be pretty
Well,
cool.
that's when me and Maddie are getting married. So, you
Yeah.
want to come? I guess I need your address to send you this shit. We'll just send the wedding invite and everything with it.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to make it, but
That'll be fine, man. No hard feelings, brother.
I'll definitely try. September. That might work out.
Yeah, you should be able to toss this shit on your kayak and it should fucking charge shit. So, it
Well,
should go right on top of your little canopy thing and
yeah.
strap up like bungee cords and be fine to go. It folds up real thin. You can throw it in a backpack or something.
No, that's sweet. That might work out. I might be able to just come down there for a little bit and go on my kayaking trip and get it all done.
Yeah, man, if that'd work for you, that'd be pretty fucking cool.
Then when I come back, I'll just move to GI or move to Fairfield.
Man, I'll be looking around. I'll be trying to find shit. Maybe I'll find something at Hastings for a good deal, or who knows by then.
Like you said, no matter where you live, there's work.
It's not what you know, it's who you know. And I know way too many people around here.
Yeah. No, I love it. I've made a few friends up here and I feel bad for leaving, but I got too many more friends down there.
Yeah. Nebraska's just a different beast. I've been all over this country, and Nebraska's just a different beast.
The Texas of the North.
It kind of is. I never thought about it that way, but yeah. It kind of is.
Freedom. Libertarian
In the
state.
smaller towns. Oh yeah. No, like if you look at the map, most of the libertarian votes from the last election came from Nebraska.
I watched this movie. It was called Reds. It's an old movie called Reds. And it starts out, there's like this couple and they're kind of like about the communist revolution in Russia. And it's about these two Americans during that time. But I read somewhere else that it was something about how people, it's like they think communism's good, and then they think socialism's good, and then they think democratic socialism's good, and then they think libertarian's good. It's like libertarianism is like the end of the road where it's like, that's what's up.
Yeah, it's just like you do what you want to do, just don't hurt anybody or anybody's property, and everybody's good.
Yep.
Like, there's no problem with it. Just do what you want. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yep. Well, shit, man.
Okay. But yeah, man, it is getting late. I do have to be up about 5 o'clock, so
Yeah, I'm gonna go help my brother
we
do
should
some
be,
stuff tomorrow. So
be rolling off. Well, if you ever need me to come on again, just give me a holler.
yeah, well, we haven't even talked about all your stories yet, so we'll have to get you back on.
Yeah, we kind of skipped that part tonight, but
That's okay. You'd Be Dead is the podcast you're on right now. So, well,
yeah. Is there anybody on there?
what do you mean?
Did we get any viewers?
Oh yeah, we got plenty of viewers.
That's awesome. Shout out to them viewers. You guys are ballers.
All right, dude. I'm gonna
All right.
cut her off.
We'll see you in the future, man. Take
Later.
her easy, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.